There we go.
I
And
didn't
we
do
are
it.
live. Now for just pre-game chatter till everyone else shows up.
Chris did it.
And I will give the game introduction.
It was all Chris's fault. Chris did it all. We were supposed to follow the goddamn train, Chris!
Okay. And the good news is I wrote a session recap to read at the start.
Hey, you Matt Mercer motherfucker.
More I'm pulling from one of my other favorite DMs of the Unexpectables. She reads one at the start of every session.
Which is good.
I like Monty. She's really great.
Oh, I know how to best.
Even when she puts up with Taka and his and Borky's pet tubs.
That's the best way how to describe that.
How is everyone this week, though?
Tired.
Really? Why will your Monday be interesting, Chris?
Chris is gonna get something in the butt.
Ah, right, you're quitting. Nice. Found a better job? Oh,
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
yes, yes, Mr. Verizon commercial.
I've been trying to talk to you for the past 10 minutes. I was asking, would it be a good idea to get combat reflexes on Calder at next level because he gets a feat?
What's his dex?
13. Sorry, 15?
15? That's worth it.
15. 15. And I'm saying I might be able to get a friend of mine to listen in, so I may need a link to the stream.
Oh, here. I'll drop it in Discord.
Twitch.tv/LYDIATEMPESTA.
Actually, here, I'll just go to my server. I believe Pun Pun will have dropped the link by now. Well, he tried. He still thinks it's Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yeah, well, sometimes the bots are dumb.
He's not the brightest kobold in the box, but he's mine. Thank you, Drakus.
Can't listen to that kobold on fire.
Who's Drakus? I don't know Drakus.
No, you may not set Pun Pun on fire.
I'm going to.
He is my designated tech kobold, and I need him.
I'm setting the fucker on fire. You know my rules with him. If he fucks up one more time, I'm going to burn him. I don't know how many times I've had to tell him this.
Just because he
If he
is not
does it
allowed to
again,
play
I'm stabbing him.
tabletop games doesn't mean. There you go, D-Man.
Alright.
Why can I not find it? I'm so
How long?
fucking blind.
5 minutes? 5 minutes?
Also, I guess Nathan's stuck in the toilet. I've seen that clip before, though. That was in a Kids Are Fucking Stupid video.
I mean, kids are fucking stupid.
I know, but fully clothed, halfway stuck in a toilet, holding a bottle of soap.
However,
Yeah, kids are fucking stupid.
However, something you might be happy with me have done on the character thing, Lydia. I have put the alchemical ordnance as it's classed as an attack for the damage dice. but it won't do the
Good.
criticals and things like that. Or actually, does it? No, it won't do. It won't critical, but it'll just do the damage as intended. I think that makes sense. It'll do. Basically, I can hit it as a
Correct
weapon
me if
attack.
I'm wrong, Chris, but don't bombs and alchemical ordnance critical?
No.
No, bombs and alchemical ordnance cannot critical.
Huh.
And that's why it's not got an attack roll.
Okay, then that guy was playing an
roll.
alchemist wrong last time I saw him.
It doesn't have an attack roll. It's just got a damage roll.
Yeah, it doesn't get to critical because it allows for a save.
Also, hello, Red. You are
Hello.
You are ahead by 3 minutes.
And I have.
It's almost as if someone messaged him to say, "Hey, you might want to jump in chat."
Lydia pinged me a while ago, and I knew I'd have to jump in a while ago.
I pinged you on Roll20, and then you disappeared.
Nathan is the only person we're waiting for now.
Yep. And according to their last GIF, they are currently stuck in a toilet.
Well, that's shitty.
Well, I can't blame them if someone flushed while they were in the middle of the air.
I'm sorry, it was worth it.
Yeah,
Worth
Red.
it.
I think I've completed. By the way, I think I've completed Ishida's sheet. I just need it double checked over really quickly, just so you know. All right.
And I think I have everything set mostly. God, my saucer smell great.
My thing.
Yes, that is accurate, Frag Keeper. The gun damage on the alchemical ordnance can crit, but the bomb damage cannot.
Correct.
That's good, because 4 times that thing. Oh boy. Oh, cool.
No, that's exactly why that's not the way that works.
Well, thank you. I am not waiting for following.
Say it anyway.
Hey. Copyright. Copyright.
Look, I'm singing low enough that you can't determine what it is.
You never see it coming.
Shut up, demon.
I will bap you. I will bap you with a Bone Lord stick.
One of us is a mod and can get away with stuff. You're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play.
My friend just said there's a zombie running away in the corner. Where's this zombie running away in the corner?
What zombie?
Because you're bad and you should feel bad.
I don't know if it can hear me.
Let's pick it up.
Alright. I'll give Ramel another 5-6 minutes before we start. But if he doesn't show up by then, I will begin reading our recap, and then we can start.
Sweet!
Big home Alabama.
I'm gonna get someone who can react to that. If Alabama was the broccoli right now.
Oh, here's Nathan.
Oh, hey, there he is. Man, we have a full party tonight.
Everyone is here and on time. Wow.
Just on time.
Excellent.
Successful.
Now, for everyone, let me get the correct music for this.
I knew I forgot something. I forgot to mute the other thing. Oops.
All right, everyone. I'm gonna give a brief recap of our last session before we start. When we last left our party, they'd all recently arrived home in some capacity. each having undergone some sort of life-changing training. As our party had spent some degree of a nice evening in the Tavern of the Smiling Orc, with a meal and nice meat shared amongst the crowd, despite tension amongst the guards. With some kind questioning and dropping of local names, Dorvan and Rumel were able to not only get the guards, but their captain, Jemai Frosthammer, to speak of the city's current problems. The city was currently under siege by waves of frozen undead, not only increasing in numbers, but in frequency with each failed assault. As the captain sat by the fire, the night's peace was not really an option, as alarm bells from the eastern wall began to ring, and the party followed the guards, not just to settle curiosity, but to help their home, taking to the front of the wall. The sharp eyes of Alex, Shezi, and Rumel spotting the moving snow, and from the snow leapt a horde of frozen skeletons, brandishing claw and broken weapon. However, the fight proved the undead to be mostly ineffective, along with the sounds of snapping bone strings, the rasping undead demands for the blood of the living. The skeletons ultimately fell. Our party made an important decision and began to make their way through town to the mayor's office. As they parted ways with Dorvan's faithful donkey Kronk, who decided to go back to his warm bed. With the sound of screams, splintering wood, and alarm bells behind them, the party turned to see a giant of bone and metal charging at them at full sprint. And this is where we pick up with our party. Now, everyone, I'm going to open the initiative tracker.
Yay!
I would like
Initiative.
everyone to roll initiative.
Second, I
Taking
a little too long to load.
Are Shezi and Calder on the same
They are
roll?
always on the same initiative.
Okay.
They are animal companion and creator in this case. Alex, you're going to be going before the Bone Lord, as you no doubt will have the higher dex.
Pretty sure I do to begin with. Yeah, I'm 99% sure I do. Because I believe I have a 3?
Yep. Dorvan, Rumel, if you would. Ah. You had your pet clicked there, Dorvan. I can fix the initiative if you re-roll. Click your token, Rumel. Here. I'll just say your little friend is riding on the back of the donk.
Honka donka 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 donk.
Also,
Something wrong.
your token
There you
is
go.
here. Alright, Doravan. You had a 17. I want to roll you up. Here. Need me to put your token back down, Rumel?
Yeah, I rolled a 14 for my initiative. It's just not going into the tracker.
Alright, one moment.
Did you select your character also?
Yeah, you gotta,
Like, actually
you gotta
put the
select
character?
the token on the map. But I may have placed it on the wrong layer. There you go. Try again. Actually, wait. Drag your token onto the map. Everyone, make sure you can move yours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, twice over.
Okay, good. Everyone's tokens are movable. That is okay. Then, okay, reroll your initiative, Rumel, and I will set it to 14. Okay. Okay. And with that, combat begins. You're first to move.
What kind of action is it to jump on the back of Caldor?
Shoot. Okay.
I think it's
You
a
need to
move.
make a right check. If you pass the right check, you do it as a free action. No, wait, oh, sorry, I'm thinking of something else. It is a move action to mount. But
Yeah.
you could fast mount stuff like that, make it quicker. But you need a right check to be able to do it.
Because it's small onto medium creature.
It would be a move, and then let's see.
I see.
Fast mount or dismount.
And
You
I
can
see
attempt to
Rick
mount or
in the
dismount
chat.
from a
Hello,
mount
Rick.
up to one size larger than yourself as a free action, provided that you still have enough move actions available that round. If you fail the ride check, mounting or dismounting is a move action. Hi, Rick. So, ride check, and oh god. Maybe don't do that yet. I don't think you have enough in your ride skill, dude.
Not enough ranks.
It's
What is it? I've got a 9, so what's it?
okay, you have a 50-50 chance. I don't think you want to do it though, because it's
Also-
DC 20.
If you think about it, is it a good idea to get close to this thing?
And then the fact that you would have to control your mount in combat, even.
I'm gonna,
Well, that was
yeah,
pro,
considering I'm gonna
yeah.
go
Oh, Jay, just the one
take
on you
the
then.
map, go sideways, and then shoot from a distance away. What I was gonna do, I can send them out at the creature. And
Yeah,
There you go.
that'd be fun.
Future
Yeah.
goes on.
But then again, how far away am I? That's a question.
As
I don't
your
know.
question, Koran, that's up to you. Since your party doesn't seem to have answered.
We can't hear you, Koran.
Remember, his mic is not working at the moment. Hopefully it'll be working by next week.
Hopefully.
Yes.
That's up to you, Corin. I can't do shit. Skeleton no work damage stabby.
Can I? Yeah. Yeah. Gonna send the mount at the creature, so it's kind of being rushed by Caldor, and shoot from my position. So it's gonna get an attack from the mount and me, I think.
There we go.
But I don't know if it gets an attack so much. I mean, an attack of opportunity.
The giant creature.
The Bone Lord? Yes.
Would. Because it has 10,
As-
10 to each.
Not
Sorry.
really, Koran. It's got maybe 2.5 squares of space in that alley.
Like, it just goes 5 feet beyond its first square.
Oh, the doggo.
Yeah.
Well, as Kalda approaches, though, you see this creature raise its arm and sweep it at the wolf when Kalda is right here. Real quick. So that's one slam. 22 hit.
I'm trying to work out. I think it's got an AC. I think Caldor's got an AC of 14, but I'm not 100% sure.
Double check.
Strength 12 from standard 10.
AC
but-
14.
Yeah, at this level it should be hittable with a 22.
anyone should be hittable with a 22.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it takes so the creature so Calder takes some damage.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
As the metal plate catches on Calder's fur as he runs forward, ripping some of the fake fur from his side.
Does Calder get to do an attack?
Calder does get close enough to make an attack.
I think, yeah. Attack modifier, sorry, that's correct. Yeah. I think that's done an attack, has it?
That does not hit.
Okay.
Calder bites down on a metal plate on its ankle.
At the same time, Shezzy slips does an alchemical ordnance into her gun. It's a free action. That's a spend of an alchemical ordnance. That's the use of it.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "Get off my dog! Get off my cow dog!" And
All right.
shoots. That's just the hit. And so
Yeah, that hits.
that's damage of 3 bludgeoning piercing plus alchemical ordnance.
Okay. You shatter one of the skulls on its frame. And it reels slightly from that. Before, 3 of the skulls look directly at Shezzy.
And she blows a raspberry at them.
Koran. Ah. If things will cooperate with me. Alright. Get angry as you move forward. One moment, I've got to check something here. I believe... yeah. The one ability these things have. As you rush up to it, getting angry and swinging, it uses combat reflexes. And not once, shattering its forearm on the ground as it tries to hit you.
Oh my god.
As it brings itself back up, roll to attack. That hits. You do some pretty good damage there. You see it doesn't entirely take, but you do some good damage. As you cleave out a few of its ribs. It seems unperturbed though by that. As it reaches into its chest cavity and rebuilds its lower arm as you're attacking it.
I don't like that.
Doravan. You can see, considering I'm gonna guess you have a very high passive perception score. Am I correct? No, I'm gonna double check actually, but I'm pretty sure you do.
Jordan?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, we lost him. That's why I couldn't hear him.
No, that's good enough.
Okay, I got disconnected for a second.
I am aware, Corin, that it's a 5e thing, but it's a rule I do like for 5e. And I really only apply it to perception in certain instances. In this case, though, Doraben can see that the skeleton's eyes, 3 heads are focused on Chessie because she shot it. Multiple heads are focused on Rumel. Doravan. It's up to you now. Now that you know what it's looking at. It is paying no attention to the 2 creatures that are attacking it.
Really now? Okay. Okay. Yeah. I see I see a 1 plus 1 equals 2 here. This thing wants fire. This thing wants hot.
More than likely, I mean, I'm gonna assume this is the same build as the other ones.
It doesn't have as much ice in it, but it has a lot of stuff.
Oh.
But yes, Doravan, we can tell it seems to be more interested in Doravan for the physical heat. The other skulls seem to be more interested in Chessie because she injured it severely.
Also, she used a fire attack on it, at which
Yes.
point she would be a heat short. That's where my brain went instantly was, okay, this thing protects the fire like the other one. I'm going to yell that out to the rest of the group to make sure they're aware, and specifically say, Chessie, Ramel, stay back, use ranged attack. This thing is going to focus you if you get close enough to be hit. And I'm going to yell to Koran, keep it there, don't let it past you. And I'm going to move forward to right behind Koran to keep him healed if the thing hits him.
Yep.
Ooh.
And I'm going to ready an action to cast Cure Light Wounds if Koran is injured.
Alright. You notice it doesn't seem to react to you getting close. Now, Rumel, my friend, my fiery friend with a sword. Because
So,
you were
I'll be
Rumel
him.
and you've got a sword.
Oh.
Hmm.
You've got a sword, and the gnome just told you.
Don't engage. No, my crossbow won't do shit against it, so character will just move up, trying to command the cards to actually move to a safer position. So in case it does get through, they can be the next line to stop it, continuing walking through. And because
Alright.
I know this guy's right there, I don't want him just running away nonsense, like nonsense. And I'll
You know
hold a
what?
standard action to take an attack at a creature that gets close to me.
Alright. That's good. Alex.
For Alex to hit the old dusty trail and provide the wonderful, wonderful use of battlefield tactics that they learned in a different era, in a different age. Where is it? There it is. Bygone era in a bygone age. Do. 10, 20, 25, 30, 10, 15, 25, 30.
That's the last we ever saw of them.
Yeah.
No, I've got a pretty good read on what I see happening here, and what I see happening here is a flanking maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
See Alex at this point. Nope, they are gone.
At a moment, somebody starts screaming he abandoned us and then comes up to save us from the last second.
Right? Like, where the fuck did he go? Did that fool just sneak off and hide? And wait, is he stabbing the enemy in the back?
Wait, did he kill the enemy? Yes, they did.
No, he's pulling exactly his character's archetype, and I really like it. Let us continue.
All right. The Bone Lord. It looks down at the targets in front of it. And it targets the beefy one that actually hurt it. That's directly in front of it. With a full attack of 2 slams. 19. I'm considering last combat, 5 damage. And 21 for another 5.
Ooh.
Dorvan, that also would trigger your held action.
Yes, it does. I will roll that immediately.
Alright. You take a total of 4 damage with that Cure Light Wounds, Koran.
Yeah, you only take 4 damage because Doravan's like, ah, insta heal.
There we go. And that's all it can do. Shezzy. Shezzy.
I turned off my mic. I tell Calder to keep on the attack.
Alright.
Basically, so it continues attacking.
Roll Kelda's bite. You are 1 less than your unangry max HP. That's nice.
Oh no, he lost his anger HP.
Alright. Alright, that hits the Bone Lord. Roll for trip.
Is that a CMB? Is that
CMB.
CMB? Is it? CMB.
Yeah, CMB.
That is a CMB.
CMB. And against all odds, Kelda finds a grip on the leg of this creature, tugs, and with a snarling bark, you hear it creak and clatter as it scrabbles the sides of the building as it falls prone.
Good dog.
Yeah.
Damn it, what's that one show? Good dog! Damn it, now it's a fucking cartoon. And it's gonna kill me.
Cowardly dog?
No. Now I'm gonna...
Yeah.
Jenny.
My God. Good. You are the goodest. You are the goodest robot dog, Doravan Kelda.
Shezzy.
And she's still shooting, and she's shooting with a standard shot. She's not. She's having chemical order just in case it's needed a bit later on. Oh.
Shezzy.
See, this is why I'm glad I'm not in front of her.
I just imagine my character has like a flame in his hand because he's waiting to turn it into a blade, and she accidentally sticks the barrel of the gun in the fire.
That's not the point.
Not even that. Shezzy, your gun has jammed.
Ah!
Boom! Jesse, can you not go 10 minutes without causing an explosion?
There's a puff of smoke as the powder goes off. the bullet jams, and your gun will need to be cleared.
Yes, I'm aware of this.
Alright. Koran, the bone monster is prone. You're angry!
And next on things that don't end well, theater. It's prone. He goes chop. Yeah, no, that sounds all kinds of bad.
I'm trying to think here. Prone.
Prone is like the worst you can get because not only are you flat-footed, certain kinds of armor also don't apply with the prone.
Yeah, but prone you can still take an attack. Paralyzed is the worst any condition you can have.
Well,
Agreed. Prone is like the second worst though because it opens you up to so many kinds of special attacks.
good news, bad news, Koran. Bad news, first attack does not hit. Good news, second attack hits. You scrape across the bones, but they seem undamaged.
Oh, we forgot to have those herbs.
Shk. Doravan.
Big bites.
And as one rule I do have for smaller creatures, you can step into an ally space so long as you get out of it by the end of your turn.
Okay. Actually, could I, like, make the guard step aside as I move into his space? Convince him to
Make a
adjust
diplomacy.
so
He is currently cowering on the ground. He's clearly new.
Okay.
He
so
didn't
it's
sign
you
up for
guys
this shit.
For real. For real, though.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I will
do I have a
allow you
moment?
a swift.
Do I
I'll allow you
have-
to make a swift action diplomacy here to convince him to move.
Okay. Do I have a modifier because of my reputation, or is this
Yes, you have a natural +2 with people in town.
Okay. I was you said he was new, so I was checking if he was
He's
so
new, as in he's a
or-
new guard. He still knows you though.
Okay, that makes
Okay. He looks at you, and then somewhere in his training, he Dark Souls rolls over here to the other guard. Not stopping till he rams into the other guard's legs.
And I'm going to take my mace and give this whole bone bastard a good whopping with my mace. Or not a mace, a morning star actually. That's the one spiky.
Alright. Wampa bonk.
Yep, I'm getting my Wampa Bonk roller. Wampa Dompa Domp. There it is.
We'll see when it comes through.
Womp, 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 womp.
Come on, roll 20. There we go. There we go. With a crunch, you leave a huge crack in its leg. And the metal plate that was bolted to its bone by haphazard metal begins to come loose. Rumel.
Oi, any of you guys have blunt weapons? These things sure seem to take a lot more damage from blunt objects than they do from sharp things.
Sorry, I'm just thinking, it's like, now since there's a complete blockage in the alleyway, there's no way I can get in there.
You can go right here. The corner slot is the viable attack slot.
Yep.
Well,
Right
that's
here
right,
is
him
one of those
attacking with
places.
just a touch attack too.
when
basically
Doravan says that, Shizzy kind of looks at him with a duh face.
Ramel, you may now stab around the dog.
It's just like flame sword just comes jutting out of my hand just right above the dog's head. Right into the thing. Get rolled.
Give it the Kershankening.
The Snook?
Roll to hit. Oh!
Oh man.
Oh,
Rumel,
man.
Rumel, my friend.
my.
Do me a favor. Roll me one more d20, please.
To
Okay.
be fair, that is touch.
Even so, that your sword goes right over Calda's head, singeing a little fur as you stab it into this creature. It shudders. The ice in its core melts as it begins to fall apart and becomes a pile of bones and scrap metal. As some of the bones crack and disintegrate from your blade. And Calda smells like a burnt couch.
He just looks at his hand. Master didn't teach me that. Huh.
And
Hand is
that,
smoldering.
that is the end of combat, my friends.
God damn it!
Wow, that was great.
I noticed Calda smelled like a burnt couch. As I walk towards Calda, I go, who's that cow? Who's this Calda?
Just makes that noise.
I just imagine auto-tuned husky, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much, Corin. It's in the same spot, but it's now just a pile of bones and scrap metal.
Yes, Shezzy clears the thing. I don't know if it takes more because
Here, I'll leave it on the map for now.
I was gonna say I don't know if it takes a little bit more than a alchemical ordnance to clear the
All right. Make me a survival, Corin. Ramel, you can make me.
Hold on, before anybody does anything.
Mm-hmm.
Doravan asked Coran, Shezzy, and Ramel to come with him to make sure that the guard captain is still alive. And to see if there's anyone who needs healed by the gate.
That is a good point. I was only going to check the bones and metal to see if it's like what kind of a person could have done this? Like, who could have just slapped this together?
Yep.
Trying to look at the craftsmanship. But yeah, that's a good point.
As, of course, Trogor is going to come running from down the street. Oh, kids! Oh.
We need to check the gate. The guards might be injured.
Right. I'll take a look at the ones here. You go. Go check the gate.
The two
As
here
he's
are
kind of
fine.
doubled
They're
over, as he's
not
a
hit.
little out of shape.
Well, he hasn't been out from behind that bar very often in the last 20 years.
Shizzy kind of looks at her dad as he runs over and says, "Do you want to ride Calda?"
You know he's too small for me.
Someday I will get him big enough for you to ride.
So
that'll
Doravan's
be
gonna
the day.
book it. Doravan's gonna book it towards the gate.
All right.
Ramel follow.
Not going to really change the map here, but when you get to the gate, you find the gate itself has been splintered and broken open. There are guards. Many of the guards are injured. A couple of them, you see 3 of the guards lined up, covered with each covered with blankets. They're very clearly dead.
Doravan would still check and see if his particular extra skill with fucking healing be able to bring them back from the brink of quite the very edge of almost dead. But I assume he probably finds they are all
It's
of
been a
the way
bit
dead.
too long, unfortunately.
Understandable.
About 12 seconds.
But he didn't. It no, because there was time where we were leaving the gate.
It's been a bit over a minute.
Yeah.
Corin, make me an engineering check. You don't have to be trained in it, just make me a knowledge engineering check as you do this. For just
Hold
common
on.
sense barricade work.
Can I actually try
I'm
and
going
help?
to assist.
Can I try
Yeah.
and help?
You
with
both may
Corin?
assist.
Like, Ramel check the snow to make sure it's all safe. Like, basically follow the tracks just a couple of feet outside the gate, and then check the surrounding snow to make sure we're
If I
safe.
get a higher roll, I might actually do better.
Alright. Dorvin, not much help
not
there, but Corin, I'll say with the 2 Shezzy gave you, that's good enough to get a very basic barricade.
Why is the 2 that he gives?
Because there's a rule for 8 and up.
Who's got the better roll?
It's not a matter of who got the better roll. Corin is
It's who
going to make the
initiated it
initial
and who
roll.
decided
You were
to help.
rolling to aid. Anyway, a 10 was good enough. Corin, you're able to make about a waist-high barricade for yourself, which is good enough to keep most things out for the guards to stand behind. It'll have to do until they can make new doors.
I'm going to use my healer's way. How many injured guards are there? I'm going to give them each 1 dose, which is going to give them currently 1.
There's about half a dozen guards who have varying
Okay.
degrees of injury.
I will mark that on my sheet.
Alright.
I'm gonna work from the most injured to the least.
Alright.
So that is most of my uses of healer's way for the day. But that's exactly how my character would do that. So let's do this.
There you go. Alright.
So
As you check
they're going
things
to have a
around,
lot easier time getting back to being able to stand behind the gate.
exactly. You would hear the moving about, the heavy footsteps of who you would recognize as Jemai Frosthammer, as he is the only person in the city who actually wears Stoneblade, who walks with such a heavy but graceful gait. As he kneels down before the fallen guards. In Giant, you'll simply hear him begin to speak for a few moments. Does anyone here speak Giant?
Let me check. I think I might have Giant on my list.
I don't. I've got.
I haven't written down my languages on my list. I have to go to my other page and look at it for a second. Give me a sec.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'd gotten my languages crossed over, but I apparently hadn't. Durka. No, I don't have Dracon Giantish. I should get that as soon as I can.
Okay, so Corin has Giant, good.
Shelley doesn't. They've got language. She's got languages to understand her siblings.
That's fine.
I didn't even take Giant. I
Alright.
should have. I thought about it.
You got Giant?
Nope, just Igman.
Okay. It's fine if you don't. I have a feeling Corin will even let you know what this is, because it's pretty normal, Corin. You realize what he is saying. It's very much a prayer for the past, for those who have passed.
Doravan's going to use create water on his water skin and and cast bless water and anoint the corpses with holy water.
All right.
And say a prayer of Caden Kalian as well for the deceased.
Roll me a quick religion.
Okay. And I even have ranks in it.
Yes,
I would
because
hope.
Shizzy don't really ascribe to a deity because of her being alchemist. He just turns and kind of lifts a
Okay.
hand.
Your prayer isn't exactly elaborate, but you get your point across.
Well, it was never meant to be elaborate. It was meant to be a simple clergyman's blessing.
Exactly.
A lay clergyman's blessing on someone who has passed, in hopes that it will help their spirit not wander this world in the future.
Exactly.
Also, why I'm willing to blow one of my first level spells to have some holy water to anoint them with.
Exactly. Many of the guards jump when you do that, Corin, considering the sounds of the beast from earlier. But when they see it's you, they relax for a moment.
And when
Still
Coran does
tense.
that, and when Coran does that, Shizzy kind of just puts her fingers on the bridge of her nose and goes and says to him in Orcish, what's decorum, brother, decorum.
So if there's any like shaken guards, like cards that are visibly shaken, I'll let them take a quick hit off the flask and I keep on my hip.
Most of them,
Just so
pretty
they
much all of them
stop
have
shaking.
settled down at this point.
Okay.
Doravan,
Yahoo!
you would see Captain Frosthammer look up to you. You can feel his gaze from within his helmet. As he says to you, you five should rest. I thank you for this. I'm going to speak to the mayor this evening. I think it's about time he spoke with you. You need to be rewarded for what you've done this day. Perhaps you're the answer to what needs to be done about this.
I would say this is no more or less than any reasonable person would do in the same situation.
Yes, but many more of my men would have died.
Yes, well, that is why a reasonable person would do as we did.
Shizzy, is Shizzy here close enough to be able to hear that?
Probably.
Shizzy says to after he says that, home, family. Just simply enough.
Even so. Here. He hands you a small pouch. Give this to your father for the others who are back home. Set them up with rooms that is in.
Absolutely. Thank you, Captain.
I'll be pulling a few strings to see if I can get you in with them there.
I definitely think something needs to be done about these. I wanted to mention to you, Captain, two things. Blunt weapons and fire. Both of these are highly effective against the frost skeleton.
Yes. We have a few days before this happens again. It's my intent to send you in the direction where they came from before this happens again.
I would strongly recommend you be ready as if any night could be the night.
We will. But you should
and be
rest.
ready with maces and be ready with fire to throw over the wall. These things will actually, if you lit a bonfire in front of the gate, I do believe these things would walk right into the bonfire and destroy themselves. This is how much they crave heat.
I don't know if it'll destroy them. It'll probably melt the ice, making them a lot safer to hit, but destroy?
It'll distract them. They might stand in
That
front
might
of
be a
it, swiping at it.
stretch.
They seem to be vulnerable to fire damage. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying that Doravan suspects that a bonfire might be able to destroy them. At the very least, it would attract their attention that they'd walk right to the bonfire.
Yep. No
She
worries.
kind of nods and agrees with you because she saw that happen, and she saw how the big one kind of got really pissed when it got shot in the head by one of her shots.
Yeah, that. And the fact that the one who was fiery literally had all of the skeletons focusing on them.
Mm-hmm.
How simple bone does not cremate with a simple hit with flame, so obviously they're weak to fire.
Exactly. Fire damage is not going to cause bones to shatter unless there is something about those bones that is vulnerable to the heat.
They're super chilled, so that would cause a snap freeze like that?
We cook
Yeah, it
these
would.
things. We cook them. We cook them. We.
Literally, Captain, I'm telling you that you should have a bonfire outside that gate every night. Because if they show up, they will walk right into the fire. That's all they're after. They want heat. I heard them say it over and over. And then they don't even seem to want to hurt people specifically. They need our heat for some reason.
They
Whatever
keep
did
saying
this
that they're
to
so
them,
cold.
They crave heat. Any heat at all. They want it more than anything.
Well, I'm no necromancer, but maybe they're doing it to get back their body to also get the heat back?
Exactly, like his poor soul died out in the snow, just wishing that they can no longer be cold. They wish they can have all the heat in the world before they died. And now they're coming back, wanting the heat once more.
And
So
maybe
if
some
we
necromancer
leave
might
a-
have done that.
And if we leave a heat source out there and give them the heat they so desperately crave, that would make it a lot easier to handle them. Probably take your losses to less. It'd probably almost nearly eliminate your losses. Because you could literally just go out there and tap them each with a mace as they stand in the fire absorbing the heat. If the fire doesn't just destroy them on its own.
All right. We will make preparations as you recommend. I will.
Thank you, Captain. I want to keep your men alive. You know how much trouble I've put into keeping these boys alive. I've lost 3 friends. I haven't even taken a good look at them because I don't want to think about which of my 3 neighbors is dead over there right now.
I understand. I will be pulling from funds to requisition some alchemist fire.
Talk to Shezzy. She'll give you a discount.
Very
I
well.
will.
Yes, you will!
Now go.
Wow.
Yes. You clearly need it.
Volunteering.
As he is going to, as you see him stand up and begin talking to his men, he's going to have them go out over the barricade and begin building a bonfire with some wood, and take some of their current supply of alchemist fire and get up on the wall. That way, they are prepared to throw it down at anything that comes nearby. In truth, they're not lighting the fire. They're setting it up to be lit with alchemist fire.
Which is smart, because they don't have to waste any fuel that way.
Yeah.
And having an open bonfire might attract the skeletons from farther away, and then you might have more skeletons to deal with.
Exactly.
Maybe.
So yeah,
Maybe.
that's basically where he's going to leave you, because he is going to work on things. He's writing out forms. He's getting his men to do certain tasks. A lot of the important paperwork is getting done.
Oh, don't forget to
Dor-
write a couple killed in combats.
Doravan would stay long enough to sign off as medic on death reports
Very well.
because that is part of his job as one of the town healers.
Then he would have handed the coin off to Koran, since he'd be going back.
Yeah, I would pass the coin off to Koran myself and be like, I've got to stay and help the captain before I can head back.
Yep.
There's
Basically,
some
get the others
paperwork
comfortable.
that involves me.
Yeah. Shelley basically only needs a 4 to be able to make alchemist's fire. So potentially, it's a 1 in.
If you could charge them 50% of the price and still make a profit, because alchemist fire is still a mundane alchemical item, and you only have to pay 1/3 of the price.
Yes,
to make it.
Although it's a craft alchemy 20 check, and she's not quite on that yet.
That's okay. You happen to have a brother and a father who are both very good at craft alchemy and would help you make the inexpensive alchemist's fire for the town.
Yeah, she's on a 16 with craft alchemy, and there's also a lab if needs be.
There's also the lab and 2 people who would help you, or our dad probably has a higher result and would also be someone who would probably help with making discount alchemist fire for the town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just double checking. Yeah. No, he'd be paying you a total of about 200 gold for 20 vials, which will give him enough to hold things up for about 5 nights with what he's already got, should there be a problem.
Right. So, then as part of what I do next, assuming we don't have any further major...
Nothing really
one of the things
major
I'm
at this
doing-
point.
Yeah, then what I'm probably going to do next is help Shezi and Rogar with making the alchemist's fire for the guards.
Then I will say this is going to take a quarter of the time. You can have the order ready by morning. Alright, Koran. Make me... This is very important. Make me a survival check. Since these are bones.
Is it?
Anyone who's versed with alchemy, do I get any new learned extract at
What?
2nd level? Do I get any new learned extract?
Yes, alchemists gain new extracts. Let me check how many.
Like,
We can
Each
figure
level
that out later.
different.
I actually would like to ask Dorvan if he could save one of these skeletal bodies for me to examine in the morning.
Alright.
If anything,
I speak to the guards and tell them that I would like them to take the body to Shezi's lab for examination. And
you know what, Koran? With that 23 survival, you're digging through the bones when your hands hit something really, really cold. When you touch it, and when you try to pick it up, I want you to make a fortitude save. Alright. It's cold.
nice.
It hurts to hold it, but it's not injuring you. You have a piece, a weird little nugget of metal in your hand that is extremely cold. This isn't natural from what you can tell with that, just with your survival there.
Would Shezzy see Koran has this thing
You've
and is kind
gone
of juggling
back
it?
to the lab, so
Yeah.
no.
Shezzy's lab, he did say.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
looting the Bone Lord currently in the street when you did that.
And I think the
But
Bone Lord
that's
was...
before the Bone Lord is still in the street right now.
Yeah.
After this search, the Bone Lord moves to our lab.
Yep.
And I think Koran said they're bagging it and bringing it to someone smarter than himself, potentially Shezzy.
Potentially, but that's up
And
to him. And Koran's still...
probably Doravan, because Koran has known Doravan to be the smart one of the group.
Shezzy's smart, but she's also reckless.
The question is, do we have someone well-versed in magic in the town?
That's a question. Everyone roll me
Hey.
local.
Knowledge Arcana's not bad either.
Ooh, hey, knowledge local! Something I'm actually good at. Something I'm built for.
I don't actually have knowledge local, which
You can roll it
seems
anyway.
strange.
I allow you to roll checks if they're untrained. It's just that if they're untrained, you don't get any bonuses to them.
My character's been gone for years. He wouldn't know who the hell's magical or not.
Okay, apparently I know where everybody is in town.
You know where to find a person who could know what this is. Dorvan, Alex, you both know. One of the most magical authorities in town. There are two possibilities. There's the local magic shop owner, who is a wizard, and there's the mayor.
Wizard. Definitely wizard.
I'm
They're
going
both
to recommend
scholarly types.
Since Koran is likely to ask Doravan first, I would recommend the wizard.
Alright. Cool. And yes,
when you show Shizzy when Shizzy sees the rock and she touches it, she kind of gets a those.
Koran hasn't shown it to you yet, Shezzy.
No, but when she sees it, and she
Hold on, you haven't seen it yet. Wait for it to happen.
Okay.
You're jumping ahead in the story.
Exactly. So Koran, question is, are you going to talk to your father about the rooms for people, or are you going to move the Bone Lord? What task are you up to now? I know Rumel and Alex are probably back at the inn looking for rooms.
I'm sitting looking at these bodies because I need to know something about them.
You're poking at the
bones. So Alex is sitting right there. So actually, Koran would probably want Alex first.
Yeah. You know what? Sure, Alex. You know what? Roll a perception while Koran does that search. Actually, especially when you see him jolt and make that fortitude. Good enough. You see this strange, glowing, not really ingot, but chunk of metal. It's frosty. It's steaming a little in the air.
I think it caused our skeleton to be oh so chilling. I need to have a look at the other skeletons, see if they have this also.
Alright.
That's not good.
Wow, that is exactly the same connection I would have made if I was sitting there right now. So actually, Doravan probably would still be there, because I wouldn't go back to the lab until I'd seen just having the skeleton move. I'm probably talking to the guards right now.
Well,
so
Doravan,
I wouldn't have been there to see this happen, but I'm in the square.
Dorvan, if you want, I will permit a Knowledge Arcana or a Spellcraft check to take a look at the item if you see it.
Okay, that's awesome. And I do have Knowledge Arcana and Spellcraft, so that would be good.
I also have Spellcraft.
You may both roll Spellcraft then. Or one of you may assist the other.
Hold on, I have not seen it yet, and unless one of you tells me, I am not going to respond as if I have seen it.
So, Alex, go ahead.
Hold on. I was trying to check something. Hey, Donovan, come here. I think, Corin found something.
Okay,
And,
I come over. Yeah, I come over and examine the item.
Yep.
Let's see. Let's get my.
See the chilling
Oh no, I
chunk of
I
metal.
don't actually have knowledge arcana. I do have spellcraft. Give me a second.
Spellcraft is what you
would
need.
you like to assist me? In fact, do you have guidance? Never mind.
Yeah. Hold on. I do want to. Give me a second. I was getting ahead of myself. Yes, I will provide him with assistance, and I do think I might have guidance. Give me a second.
All right.
No, I
Guidance
don't.
would be
I
good.
don't. I don't have guidance. I have
Alright.
create, water detect, magic detect, poison,
Well.
purify food, drink, and stabilize.
With your help,
I
that
thought
pushes
you had
it.
guidance.
With your help, that pushes it over the threshold. Alex, you've heard of this
Yay.
material. It's rare, and it's not created normally. It's actually created under rather strange circumstances. This is winter steel.
Oh.
It is a
Well,
unique,
I vote that to my two companions here.
it is a unique metal that is created when it is frozen for a long period of time. If the metal is undamaged, i.e. not rusted, and frozen long enough, it becomes this. And with that roll, you do know that winter steel can be forged into existing weapons. If put on the edge of an existing weapon, it gives it cold damage. A single d4 of cold damage.
This would explain how our giant colossus could be made out of ice. I wonder if the
Or it might be winter steel because it was part of the Colossus.
possibly. Going through my memory, if I remember correctly, some of the skeletons had metal parts also.
Yes, we should check if there's winter steel on other
To
skeletons.
be exact, the
At the
skeletons
very least,
had
it would be.
ice and ruined armor. This skeleton had pieces of metal from other armor that had been grafted to it.
Okay. So, what would cause them? You know, even my studies in necromancy doesn't let me know this.
It seems to me that the winter steel might not be the cause, but might be caused by these things. That said, either way, it would definitely enhance their cold, and it would make the ice more resistant against slashing and piercing attacks, because, as I understand it, colder the ice is, the harder it is.
That is a possibility. I don't think it's probable, but it could happen. I think we need to go to the town wizard and we need to get this fully examined, because that's the only way we're going to truly know.
Yes, I agree. We need to get it examined right away, and we should ask the town wizard to come to Shezzy's lab at the inn, so that we can have a good place for all of us to examine this properly, because Hrogor's alchemical knowledge might come in handy with this as well, because this is not purely something of magic, but also something that is material, and as my
I don't
father
think it
has
would be
quite-
alchemical. I think it's more of a forging technique that they use with magic to boost it. But you might be right. So it's a 50-50 shot. I think it'll help.
I
So
am
let's
playing
get-
on one
let's-
character. It's
let's-
totally
let's get-
never that.
Let's get the wizard to the lab at the inn. Corin, what do you think? All I spoke to the guards, and then you and the guards can start hauling this towards the inn. You might want to grab the hand cart from the inn, so that you can help. It'll help if you use the hand cart.
I'm going to ask a question about this steel, if it's kind of been mentioned out loud, and Chiz is clear enough here, close enough to listen.
You not really, I think.
Or, well...
Didn't Chezzy go to the lab to start her stuff while we were examining bodies? Or am I, like,
Yes, I believe Chezzy is in the lab.
behind?
The movement of the body, at least.
You will be there when the body is dropped off for Alex to study.
She'd go, you have to put it there.
Yes.
Right on top of something that looks important. Well, she says it. That's important. Don't put it there.
Had to put it somewhere. Sorry, kid.
Relax, Chezzy. Relax. If it's really important, I'll replace it. If
What's
it's not
underneath it?
important,
About
you'll have forgotten it by
Bang!
tomorrow.
There's something underneath that explodes.
It's a cloud of
there
black
goes the
smoke.
metatarsal.
Not explode but like small explosion, like smoke mainly.
Something pops basically when it starts
Yes.
smoking. You could see little, and then just little smoldering remains of something
Yes.
that just popped.
Like I was experimenting there.
I can tell. It burned really fast.
A self-toasting marshmallow. She was so close.
Put it that way.
Right.
The self-toasting marshmallow.
Ooh. You see Chizzy's eyes light up when you say about self-toasting marshmallow.
Norman sniffs the air and he says you should use less thermite. That's way too hot for a marshmallow.
That's like the self-microwaving hot dog. It didn't end well.
Yeah.
Chizzy just thought about something. Basically, something that goes that you light and throw.
Alright. So,
Let's just say.
anyway, I'm going to come back to you all briefly as you are at the inn. Rumel, I believe you wanted to go find her parents.
Yeah, go check up on him because I know my mother's a cleric, so she most likely be in the church. But my father's a lumberjack. I have to know if he was out there or not whenever this happened. Like if he's out gathering wood or not.
Alright. Rumel, as you make your way to the Temple of Sarenrae, you walk up the stairs. You feel naturally welcome in this place, considering that one of the goddess's domains is fire.
Yeah, weirdly enough.
Well,
Sure.
As you enter, you see clerics moving about, treating people. There are a few injured guards in here, clearly over the past few weeks' attacks. And you see a familiar woman step out of a back room. She has dark hair, dark eyes. As she looks around the room, she stops on you, as if shocked to see you. Freezing in place, as she grasps the holy symbol around her neck. It's up to you what you do from here, buddy. But you recognize her, a bit older. But you still recognize the very kind eyes of your mother.
I kind of like pro stock still too, surprised to see the fact that my mother is aged. I just hold out your hands with a soft smile. Mother, I have returned.
She blinks,
Walk,
begins to walk up
just
to you.
walking. Yeah, I start walking towards her too, slowly.
And she'll stop and look up at you. gotten considerably taller than her.
Yes, I've grown. It's just a shame you missed
Yes.
most of it. Just he's trying not to tear up. See the smoldering little tears in his eyes.
As she reaches up and pulls your head down onto her shoulder. It's been so long, my sweet boy.
Oh my god. Ignoring the sounds of the universe, he quickly go, I don't
Ignoring
mean
the
to rush you
sounds
here.
of the rogue
Where
who
is
is about to
father?
go out a window.
Yeah, I basically just kind of look up at her like, where's father? We're kind of having a bit of an emergency in town. Need to know if he's safe.
Your father. Well. About 3 years after you left, your father and I. We weren't exactly getting along, and he left. He went home to his family. I've been throwing myself at my work here ever since.
He said he'd be right here after I was just kind of like the look of like just the like look of a child after it realizes its father he'll never see his father kind of look.
She pulls him in again, just holds him. Hey, I know. It's a frustrating matter. It took a long time for me to feel alright with myself. After he left, I constantly blamed myself as to how you would feel when you come back.
It's not your fault if he decided to leave. It's disappointing to realize that the universe, no matter what plane you're on, I suppose, is going to.
Still, it's good to see you are home. I hope you haven't been involved in this mess we've gotten ourselves in. As she looks about at the injured.
Oh, actually, I actually helped solve this attack. There was quite a few skeletons, even a giant. It looked like it was constructed. I helped slay it, helped save the town. It's just, yeah. Like he did seem confident when he first walked in, and now he's just completely lost. He's trying to like explain to her that he just got into this big old fight with a bunch of skeletons. He even got cut up a bit. He could help destroy this monster of a creature. It just suddenly exploded, basically. And he can't even tell her that because he just doesn't have the emotion to.
She follows along on the first bit and then gives you the mom look of the giant skeleton. Like, she doesn't quite believe you on that one.
Yeah.
Huh.
Proof.
The funny thing here would be one of the injured soldiers piping up and saying, "No, I saw him do it."
And the problem is, no soldiers who got injured are injured enough to come here now. The ones who weren't injured are in the town square. Anyway, she leans in, just like, well, where are you at? Staying at the moment. I sold the house after he left. I didn't feel like staying there, and the church has been here. I've kept a few of your more, well, important personal effects with me.
The local inn, like he can't even think of the inn that he was just in, where like he left his backpack and everything.
Oh, Rogor's place. Yes, he's a good man. May not be a follower of Saren, right? But I admire his devotion to Cade and Cambion.
Saren Ray, what I remember, is a friend of many gods.
Yes.
And Doravan probably comes down there like every day to help out with healing.
As she's like, his son Dorovan is here often. As
Good to hear
she
he's still alive.
reaches up and runs her hand through the fiery hair of yours, which, while it is fire, you notice she doesn't seem perturbed by it. I remember when your hair was, well, fiery red, but not quite on fire. Looks like you've been through a lot.
Yes, I have. And he just looks at his red skin, remembering how it used to be the same color as his mother. Well, I have to go talk to some people because there was an incident, but luckily not too many people are hurt. But I need to go meet back up with. I'll try to find you. You can at least meet me at the end.
I will hopefully do so. If not, I will be here if you need me. Tending to those who need me.
And then he gives her a gold donation to the church.
Thank you, dear. As she'll pat his shoulder and just kind of stride away to go do things. As you see her slip the gold into the small coffer they keep for those kinds of things.
And then I'll go try to see where I could find everybody.
Ah, yes.
Wanders back on the street, just like, oh, good lord. This is not what I expected at all.
Alright. Alex Dorovan, you're wandering down the street with the town wizard at this time. Well, now, I can't seem to... What do you mean you found a piece of weird metal?
I believe the name they said, I believe Alex called it frost steel. Isn't that correct, Alex?
Winter steel.
Winter steel, of course.
One moment. Alright. Winter steel. Let me just... Alright. Wait. Okay, I must see this. Take me to it at once. Holds his hands out like, take me.
Alex,
He's a crotchety old
Wait.
man with a face like a weasel.
Nudges
Alex.
Corin. Come on, you have it. I ain't doing it. Mm-mm.
Corin's
Alex,
got it.
would you take the wizard to the inn? I need to stop by the temple to help the healers before bed.
Ah, Wizard Weaselly. Yes. As known so, because he accidentally turned himself to a weasel. And unfortunately, that follows you through wizard school.
Yeah, it does. That it does. Well, I guess I'll take him to the inn, because we need that. Coming.
Alright, let's go.
I'm
See,
guessing.
Alright, let's go. Mimicking his voice perfectly.
I'm guessing by this point, Shiz is in her lab, poking at poking at the big one, trying to work out things about it.
Alright, one moment. First, Corin. You know? No, it's not quite cold enough that it can do a point of damage without being worked. Alright. Now, Shezzy, you've poken at the creature. Do you have knowledge of necromantic magic?
I have engineering and.
That will not help you in this instance.
Do you have any arcana or spellcraft?
Arcane, spellcraft, or in this case, I'll even allow a heal check.
I've got no point in heal. I've got a heal. It's a skill, but I don't have the points in it.
And unfortunately, it's not a knowledge skill, so that's not going to work.
It's poking at it and
You're poking
trying to
at it.
use it. Yeah, with engineering, like with tools and things like that, and going, well, that does that. Bang! Oh, that does that.
And Calda opens his mouth to play a recording. Rib bones connected to the.
I just imagine hours of research. She goes, I have no idea what this thing is. And then just pushes it off the table.
That is basically going to be the culmination of Shezzy's efforts.
Yes. Eventually, yeah. She will have it there at least as long as the wizard's in, so they can kind of collaborate.
Let's see. Also, so the players can see Rumel's mother.
Aw, she's cute.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I assume Doravan is going to walk right past Rumel standing in front of the church, looking completely lost.
He has like a cigar in his mouth, and he has like the 1,000-yard stare. You can tell he hasn't even taken a puff off the cigar for like a couple seconds. It's just that trail of ash.
Doravan reaches up and taps you on the arm. Smoke your cigar. Those things are expensive. Give me a minute. I'm going to help with the healing, and then I'll be right back out, and I'll show you. I'll take you to the inn because you apparently seem like you don't have anywhere to go.
Also,
Yeah,
also wondering.
And you can just see the snow that lands on him just like melt instantly and steam away. Like he's just not even phased with the cold.
Also wondering if craft alchemy might make sense in this situation. By the way.
No. I don't believe alchemists even have extracts that would allow them to do this thing. So.
No, the knowledge of alchemy. The alchemical knowledge itself.
I don't think that applies to the undead in most cases.
Like I said, they have a very rough understanding of necromancy, and it's only the alchemists who choose to specialize in it that can. Because like you need to take discoveries to give you like stuff to deal with zombies.
Essentially, they require you to have flesh crafting stuff.
And even the necromantic-born alchemists like Dampier don't even really specialize in necromancy because it's just necromancy and alchemy really don't go together.
They can. There are a couple of necromantic archetypes for the alchemist, and they're pretty nice.
Corin,
it's just
you can roll arcane or religion of your choice. Because yes, you have those knowledges.
I said I did have knowledge arcana.
Well, you may roll that. So, Corin, you may roll arcana to assist Shezzy. Okay.
Why? That's a 20.
Corin's help, it's not bad. Shezzy, this is not a typical undead. This thing was clearly cobbled together from multiple undead. Those plates, those were pieces of multiple pieces of armor. Some of those look like scimitar blades. Some of the ways they were secured look haphazard.
So sometimes there's a leg that looks like a little bit that looks a little bit smaller than it should be, or bigger than it should be, or
it's not quite in the right place. Some of the bones have cracks from how the metal is anchored.
Because the metals are like splints, basically holding certain pieces together.
As she's kind of looking at it, she's kind of counting, going 1, 2. She's counting how many bodies she thinks this is made of.
Good God.
You can't quite get a number of bodies, but you can get a number of bones.
Yeah.
You want to know? You want to know the total number of bones?
No, I'm not. I'm not talking total number, but I'm saying like how many different bodies it's made of.
Okay.
The best you could come to was a guess based on the number of skulls it had.
Which you destroyed 1. So, with the number that are there, you can guess maybe at least 6 different undead reused, but there seem to be more bones than necessary for that.
This is. She says very loudly and clearly, as the wizard's walking in, maybe. This is an abomination!
Well, what? What's the rat folk screaming about again? I am a weasel! No, I'm not.
And perfectly in Shezzy's voice, it's an abomination! And lead the alchemist right over to the skeleton. Yeah, this is what we found. The winter steel's on it. Yeah.
Huh. Well,
and Tizzy clearly explains to the wizard why it's an abomination. Like how many bodies and skulls and.
he looks it over. Well, now, this is incredibly shoddy work. I'm not a necromancer, any of what I recognize is poorly made. There's no concept.
Oh, I mean, they cobbled it together by the looks of it. It's giant and. Well, I am impressed. It's also very disgusting, and I love it.
Let's see here. You said you found the winter steel in it. As he looks at both Shezzy and Corin. May I see it?
How much knowledge about winter steel would Shizzy have as an alchemist?
About as much as Alex, maybe a bit less. It's not really an alchemical thing.
Considering it's metal and metal is something of alchemy.
Yes, but the way it
It's a
becomes
supernatural
what it
creation
is not.
process.
It's a supernatural item, not an alchemical item.
Okay.
But yes, the wizard will look over to Corin. May I see it, young fellow?
Does he ask anything of Shizzy to hold it properly? By the
Sorry
way.
about that. My phone died.
He does not ask Shizzy anything about it.
No, to hold it.
Nope.
Reg, you've got an echo.
I don't know how the hell I could possibly have an echo. God damn it.
Check and see if your filter on Discord off.
It's apparently red having the echo.
That's what I said, D-man.
Yeah, even with noise suppression on, it doesn't seem to be stopping an echo. Why does it have an echo?
Oh, all right. So, Corin, when you hand the winter steel to this wizard, it's like, cold. Bouncing it between his hands, Roar holding it. And he looks at it closely. I'm gonna roll quick d20 for his spellcraft. Okay. Well, I can tell you this much. It's not the highest grade of winter steel I've ever heard of. I guess this is really early stage. It is, I'd approximate, from how cold it is, about 50 years old.
What do you mean from how cold it is? You can tell the age.
Yes, you see, the colder and older a winter steel gets, the more dangerous it is to handle with your bare hands. In this state, this winter steel is just barely created.
Shizzy says, "Could I lick it?"
I wouldn't recommend it. If it got stuck on your tongue and then you swallowed it, it would get stuck in your esophagus, requiring surgical removal.
Should have let her lick it.
As he looks it over, Well, it won't be very powerful, but if applied to a weapon, it would provide a bonus that would actually be quite beneficial. It can only be applied to the edge of a weapon, though. So slashing and piercing weapons are your best bet. Edge
What
and
about
tip, to be
ammunition?
exact. Ammunition made from this stuff is a waste.
Why?
It's
Probably because you
incredibly
get one
rare.
shot. Now, gun on the other hand made from it that fires special bullets made out of magic, that would be interesting.
Now, here's the thing. This piece of winter steel, if you were to sell it, would be worth about 1,000 gold. That's how rare this stuff is.
That could fund my work for a year. Several years. It could
Yes,
upgrade
but it belongs
character-
to your big friend here. And I have a feeling he's going to want it for one of those weapons of his.
My
Yeah.
A skilled weaponsmith could apply this to one of them, actually. It's a
Uh,
simple matter of heating it and applying it to
uh,
the edge of a blade.
Shizzy gives Koran the big eyes. Sell it?
As he's going to place it back in Corin's hand. Do what you wish of it, young man. I'm going to have a drink. As he goes upstairs, and you hear Hrogor laughing at drinks being poured for this man.
Shizzy's giving Koran the big eyes.
Oh, one other note he would leave on his way up is, by the way, I think that creature, there's no way there's a connection with the two. I think it just had that inside of it because of how it was made. Looks like Koran's keeping it. Alright. And with that, he's taking his drink with the party. And then, of course, yeah, Rumel, I believe you're the only other person aside from Doravan who's out.
Yeah. I'm gonna walk Ramel home after casting all my healing and using up all of my healing, helping out at the Temple of Sarenrae.
Alright.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. He'd still just be standing there, just in the cold, just staring blankly into space. And then he just gets the nod again, like, oh, okay. Tosses what little of his cigar probably burnt away, and just starts slowly wandering back.
How to answer that? Let me think. Go ahead.
What happened?
I don't know. She said go ahead to someone.
Yeah, go ahead, you two. As you're clearly doing a thing.
Yeah, he's just wandering back. He's like not really talking. He's just kind of staring blankly. Because you can obviously tell he's thinking about something.
Doravan looks up at Ramel. What's wrong? You seem like you're really like you got bad news. What's wrong?
It's trivial, but my parents actually got divorced when I left. Not too long after I left. I guess it's childhood ambitions to think that everything would stay the same once I left, but it's just kind of a shock still, thinking about it.
Oh, I can see. I see that makes sense to me.
My mother always believed I was a blessing to the town, that I'd help deal with the cold. It's just weird that I turned out to become this way, but I just, yeah.
God.
Yeah. Says he's staying in our lab, messing with the creature. Once he's given up, she'll drop it on the floor and start working on Calder.
Because I find it funny, Calda has a mimicry feature that you did not install. It's considered a glitch. But he mimics music. The whole time you're messing with that skeleton, he's playing bone and skeleton related music. So from the basement lab, the whole bar could hear spooky, scary skeletons. That dog has a sense of humor despite not being smart.
Actually, it's got an intelligence of 2.
Yeah, it's not very smart.
Animals could have an
It
intelligence.
is smart as dog.
Yes. Dogs can.
The
dogs
smartest
can
an animal
have
can get is 3.
Dogs can have dogs can have a sense of humor, you know.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's why if it has an intelligence of 3, it can understand a language, but it cannot speak a language.
And I'm just going to move everyone back to the bar for the moment. As the tokens that are not here at the moment.
Very quickly trying to discern Calder's new hit point value.
Yes,
I think
apply as you take your long rest. Apply
50,
your
is it?
level 2 benefits.
50 is it now?
Apply max HP for everyone.
Yes, I'm trying to work out Calder's new hit point value.
He has a D8 hit die being a companion.
Do we level now?
So, I say
It's gonna be fun.
Apparently, you get to D10 for animal companion.
It's gonna be fun.
Anyway, so apply those real quick and then we will continue.
Okay. Those not going to change.
Oh dear.
Right.
Does Calder's HP go back to maximum as well? Or does he
I'll say
take
you
it?
spent the night repairing him.
Hmm.
Or at least a fraction of your rest repairing him.
Yes. So yeah. Although I don't know if I can take hit point because it's a craft. It's a what's called oh, constructs get D10 hit dice, not D8.
I know he's constructed as a D10, right? So,
it's-
yep, apply
yeah.
that.
So 50, not 48. I think.
Anyway, let's go ahead and get through this. Sooner you do, so we can continue.
Oh, nice.
No special ability.
One. Three.
I think I'm actually gonna take that spell. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take that spell because it's useful. Go Mage Hand.
Yes, I did take the spell that was recommended, by the way, for an infusion. So, if I have to, I can make my brother grow.
Unless you have the fusion discovery, your extracts only apply to you. You will make him sick.
I did take the infusion discovery,
Okay.
and I can make my brother grow, and also give him shield or cure light wounds or fire belly.
People keep telling me you can't make potions of shield.
I can make it so you can breathe fire. I do believe that's fire.
Oh my, that's going to be useful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, perfect, Koran. Just put done in the Roll20 chat when you're done.
Yeah, I just added Detect Undead to my list of first level spells.
That's useful.
Unless I'm checking to make sure that it's not altered by my archetype really quick, but I think that I do get that normally.
All right.
Under the divine.
Yes, technically that is what that is the meme I'm going to throw at least once, and I might need to do that by shooting you in the butt. Because that's not the only way that it was a monster grow thing. Yes, I'm aware of the meme. Because I'm aware that there were always there was sometimes very different ways. Example, I'm aware of at least one grow method which included shooting people.
So yeah, I do get my spells normally, so I get to add.
Hey, what? I was agreeing with something Koran said. What was that, Dorban?
I said I do get my normal spells from my mystery with the divine herbalist, so I am adding Detect Undead to my list.
Good.
Feat items do serve detect.
No, all I need to do is find a maybe set of item.
That is first level spell.
This is fun.
I would point out the easy way to think about it is when Lord Zed used to make him grow. He threw a bomb at his enemies.
He threw a bomb at his. He did kind of throw an alchemist potion kind of thing. It's like.
Damn it.
The sphere, the monster uncapped, and it kind of went. Woo!
You know what?
I apologize to the audience. We are doing Power Rangers memes.
When
Could
they
be
should
that.
leveling.
Okay.
Could be
I'm also adding guidance to my list of
There you go.
cantrips because I gain an extra cantrip at this level.
Although do I only
Nice.
do I only gain only gain one I only gain one extract then, don't I? Is it, yeah, extract. Because if I gain two, I'd potentially have other options.
Okay.
I need to get my 7th level spells quickly.
Because I could take detect undead as well, and that'd be potentially double useful.
It's an extract.
I've chosen one, which is enlarged person, but if I could take detect undead, if I get two,
You only
that
get
would be
one.
weird.
That's the way Alchemist works. You're gonna have to find ways to learn more of them.
Yeah, but alchemists can also learn from alchemist
Yeah.
formulae.
You can pay
So
the wizard to
you
learn
have-
some.
You have the wizard option of I founded the book full of spells.
Yes, and it says that you can take from wizard spells
I
as
think
well.
you can actually transfer certain spells over into formula anyway.
Yes, that's actually what it says near the bottom of the wizard. A wizard can add formulae to his book, just as a wizard can add spells to his book using the same cost and time required. Study a wizard spellbook to learn any formula that is equivalent to a spell the spellbook contains. So if I find a wizard,
Yeah, it's just wizards though.
and
Oh,
also other alchemist books.
yeah. Nice and give you a spell possibly that I knew, but I can't because you have to study spell books. And I don't use spell books. Actually, you know what? I'm actually gonna pick up a spell book.
Alright.
Because if I can transfer D-Man's formula into like wizard spells,
If
I
you can write it
think
down in
my
a wizard
fucking
spell,
secondary
you can
casting can.
if you can write it down as a
Um,
spell, Shezzy can. If it's on the alchemist formula list, she can learn it.
Yeah. You said teleport
Anyway.
casting works like how?
We still have 3 people who
Oh,
have
no.
not finished. Let's keep going.
Okay, I think that I added my BAB, I added my will save, I added my mystery, I added my extra spells per day.
Damn it! No, I can't do it with my
added-
secondary casting shit. It has to be on my spell list. Damn it!
Koran, if you can shake down the town wizard, that'd be perfect.
Did you just say threaten the town wizard?
I think she said shake down.
I
That
wouldn't
doesn't
recommend
necessarily
it.
mean violent.
That's
I'm
still
gonna
just
s-
as
I'm-
bad.
I'm
That
gonna-
means that
I
we're
would
gonna try and
recommend it.
steal from him.
I wouldn't recommend shaking down the town wizard.
With a spell book.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend shaking down the town
I'll-
wizard.
I'll
That's
say-
probably
okay.
a bad idea.
I'll just be upfront with you.
Jessie would know that her brother would be upset if she did that.
No. Shizzy would know her brother would be at her funeral if she did that. You don't want to shake down the 10th level wizard.
No, that's generally not a wise idea. That's how you get fireballed.
There's a reason he's retired. He's tired of people asking him to do shit, so he sells magic items now.
Oh, she just wants to
Also
borrow
explains why he looks like a weasel too.
She just wants to borrow his spell book to see if she can take formulas from it.
Yeah, you realize no wizard's actually gonna do that. They put in all their time and effort, dude. You're gonna pay to see that shit, sir. Let's just get that right.
Yup.
And
No,
even
that's
then,
standard rules. You pay to see the spell. They hand you a copy of the spell, and then not just let you look at their entire spell book.
and even then,
It's the name.
even PCs don't even want you to copy their spells because no, we both have different spells for a reason.
Alright, good. We have 3 done. It just leaves Storavan and Shezzy.
I've done
I said
mine,
I was.
basically.
I said I was done.
I'm done basically. I just need to make sure.
Basically, isn't done, dude.
Alright, everyone's put in their max HP?
Let me
I'm
make
just
sure I did that.
I'm just trying to work out if Calder's HP is correct. First, I put the feet in. I fixed the save.
Of course, I get good news today, and then later on, I get bad news. It's almost fucking typical of this day.
Hmm.
No, more shit for work.
No.
Yeah, I'm never done working. And then I also possibly have an interview coming up finally, so that's even better.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that it goes through, because if it goes through, then that means, oh man, do I get to have fun?
Wait, oh, damn it. I just realized I put the wrong spell on my spell list. I have to fix that now. Give me a second.
See? CD man, basically done doesn't mean you were done.
No, I just realized yeah, I'm gonna say this. Do you think reducing brother's size... Oh, well, I've already got... Oh, wait. Never mind. I think I just made a big boo-boo. I thought I had reduced person... I had reduced person already, and then I just realized I had reduced person and grow person, and I'm like, what?
Man.
What's called
That's what I have to mark all of my shit off because I forget what bonuses I get from almost everything for this class now.
That makes sense. That now helps and helps me understand.
Okay, so yeah, 28 and 28.
That's correct. Because never mind. I now realize what I did wrong. I didn't realize that I'd already had reduced person as a previously learned spell. I'd forgotten that. So I'll fit that.
Well, in the morning, I also want to make another check on the cool steel or the winter steel.
All right.
If Corin will let me.
Yep. If Corin lets you examine it, I will allow another spellcraft.
Oh, hey! I also have a spell that I can use to Corin to actually ask him that before we go to bed. So I'll expend one of my daily uses of message. Oh wait, it's Pathfinder. I don't have daily uses. I can cast it as many fucking times as I want.
After breakfast, beer is cold. I like that priority.
Well, I mean, the breakfast beer will be cold when you wake up. Because beer is always cold.
No, he's using the cold rock to cold the beer.
I like him.
I like this priority.
And I know you can see this, Lydia.
Oh, important thing actually for Rumel. Rumel, this morning, when the sun
Just
comes
right
in
when I
the
said
window.
I poked the rock, said my name.
Yep, so, important thing when you woke up this morning, when the sun came in the window, as you woke up and looked at the floor where it's shown, you saw a smoldering spot.
There's a smoldering spot in the floor.
Yes, seemingly from the sunlight.
Just start waving my hand over it to try and see where the heat source is exactly coming from.
It begins to get worse.
It's staring at me. What did I do? What do I do? Just looking at the smoldering spot. I don't want the inn to catch on fire.
I mean, you know how to put out fires.
So yeah, I'll just put my hand over it and suffocate the fire.
Yes.
As you do so, you feel it get hotter and hotter, and then it stops, and now your hand is on paper.
Oh. Look at the paper.
As you look under your hand, you see a letter written on parchment with almost metallic brass ink, and an insignia that you would recognize as that of your mentor, Archimedes.
Just quickly start reading through it.
And the main thing you get, he tells you the key to using the little token he gave you. hold it over a forge fire till you hear it crack, and then apply it to the metal you forge into your new armor. The question is, where are you going to get the metal?
Exactly. But okay. Look at the brass token.
As
The note.
you now
Hold up the
know
note.
that the brass token is full of a strange oil ointment substance.
And I need to talk to the local blacksmith about this.
Now you're downstairs poking the rock.
Yeah, with cold resistance too. Tink, tink.
Eeh, cold. It's chilly. You're playing a game of
Ew.
chicken with the rock.
Like,
Sh-
this was in the thing?
Can Chizzy come down, see you guys poking at the rock, go back up, bring down one of her thickest gloves, and just hand it to you?
I mean, it's on the side of Koran's mug.
I would
Like the one
laugh.
playing
at me.
chicken
I
with.
don't need gloves.
And I don't think Koran will want you touching his special rock. This is his special rock.
I know, but it's so special. I can't help but admire it. It's that special.
I mean, you're just poking it. You're not trying to take it.
Exactly. I'm like, what is
Anyway,
this? This is weird.
so yeah, Alex. Yes, if you message Koran, feel free to send that to Koran, and yeah. If he's up for it, yeah. As long as he don't try to take it away from you. Poke, 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 poke. Ah. Okay. Alright, when you get back, I have a feeling Koran will let you spellcraft, so feel free to make another spellcraft. With the knowledge you've gained from your previous check and the wizard, roll with a +4. Spellcraft is preferred. This is more of identification of the object and figuring out how potent it is. Arcane is more, what could it be done with it, I guess. I mean, if you want to figure out what could be done with it, roll Arcane with the same bonus.
Can Shezzy, having come down and kind of noticing the thing, help as well?
Yeah, you can roll Arcane to assist Alex. And yes, Koran, you can roll for assist as well. So, Alex, you currently have a +6 with Shezzy's assist. We'll see what Koran gives you. Okay, you would get to roll Arcana with a +6 to figure out both basically what it can be used for and how to use it for its most common method, depending on how you... Might be more obscure methods.
Alright, I returned. You said a +2 on the check?
Because you have previous knowledge from yourself, the wizard, and now Shezzy's assistance.
Okay. This is gonna be fun. Where's my spellcraft? All the way at the bottom. You know, I'm glad I upgraded after leveling up last night. Alright, let me double check, see if I have any additional shit for spells that might help me. That doesn't fucking... Nope. That doesn't... Damn it, that doesn't either. Alright. Alright. Yay. Craft 6. Wow.
Okay. Well, with your spellcraft on this, you now know that with proper forging techniques, even the local smith here could potentially attach this to the edge or tip of a weapon. As for this, with your spellcraft, you know... Huh?
Would there be enough left over to maybe create a rimmed glass?
You know,
Poetry?
there would be enough to create a thin rim to go on a mug, yes.
It just seems evil.
Just wondering if you could
Oh no, I get what you're trying to do. Never mind.
maybe make one bullet from it as well. A cold bullet would just be.
It would
What?
be a waste of a cold
ammo.
bullet. You're
It
better
will
off
mostly
with no chemical
disintegrate after
shot.
use. The material would be easy to repair.
We
be
have to do something. We need to go somewhere. We need to do something. I have
As
something.
to
I have
your-
an idea for you, buddy.
As to your spellcraft, let me finish. You can tell this stuff's only 50 years old. It's barely been going. Had it reached over a century, it would do a d6 of damage. 2 centuries, a d8. 3,
Ooh.
a d10.
Could you make a ring big enough to fit on the end of a gun?
It wouldn't work. It doesn't pass its properties like an enchantment.
Right. Somewhere we're going
But
to the
yeah,
smith.
if
We
Alex
need
is
to get
pulling
something,
corn
buddy.
off, that
dagger
makes
with
sense.
silver. It's just like that.
Though, as your breakfast is happening, as you're making plans, the captain of the guard pops in the door, looks around, there you are. Looks over at, Brain, Rogor. Apologies, Rogor, I need to borrow them. The mayor will see you this morning. He wishes to speak with you and not only reward you for the last incident, but I have a feeling something beneficial may occur of this myself.
Ooh.
As he will lead you out. Those who wish to follow. After
I'm going
scarfing
with-
breakfast.
Dorvan is going to come out from behind the bar and follow him.
She's gonna
I'm
follow.
gonna finish last my drink real quick. Follow him.
Alright.
She's gonna follow.
I'll consider everyone as having had something to eat and drink this morning.
Mhm.
As well as having had a full rest. Everything is restored.
Yay!
Yummy.
As he leads you out. One moment, I'm going to make sure a token I need is placed.
That would be smart.
Because a certain person is important in this area.
Yes, that is the exact view.
I'm going to move the players. Now, pardon the symbols on the map. When I grabbed it, kind of messed up and left those. Anyway, the captain will lead you in the door down here. Take a step to the side. Marinea. Marinea. These are our local heroes. The young men who, the young woman who
Men and
actually
women.
been helping us fight.
Young persons, please. We're inclusive here.
Thank you. The young persons who have done much for our home in the past night. The mayor, of course, looks over from his desk, looking up for some paperwork. Yes, come in. As you see a half-elf man sitting at the desk with, red hair. Please, take a seat, as he motions to some of the chairs in front of him. Pardon if there aren't many chairs, I don't normally get as many guests. Feel free to place yourselves on the map accordingly, though. I will expand your tokens as needed.
I can't grab my token, which is very weird on
Grab
camera.
it from the, just drag it, there you
Yeah.
go.
Would you expand mine?
Yep, no worries. There you go.
He doesn't want to ruin that, her couch or her chair or whatever that is.
Those are
Dorovan
just
bows
chairs.
to the mayor before sitting and says, "Good evening, Your Honor. It's a pleasure to see you again."
Ah, young Dorovan.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to grow shit
Yes,
because she's
technically
a small
those
creature.
2 squares are a 5-foot space.
She's a small creature though. That's
Yeah,
the
but
thing.
you still take up that
You
amount of
have a-
space.
You still take up a 5-foot square.
Yep.
You're just shorter.
Can you do the same with Calder?
Alright.
I don't think they'd let Kelda into the building,
They
but
would have him wait out front because he is a dog creature.
You
Unfortunately.
probably just waited at the inn since you were
Yeah.
probably
yeah.
But is commanded to come to me on my whistle.
Fair enough. Anyway. He sits before you, on his desk. You would recognize, well, those who have knowledge of any weaponry would recognize the black mirrored blade that sits on his desk. An elven curve blade of fine craftsmanship. So, I know it's you 5 I have to thank for helping us with the last undead incident. Incursion attack. From what the captain has told me, I think he is correct. We only have a few more days before the next one. And then the following one will probably likely be only 2 days. And then it will be an unending wave. Until we are all dead, or they are all dead.
Well, what direction have they been coming from? Maybe my friends and I could go after them and stop them at the source.
I was going to suggest the same course of action, Your Honor.
Yes.
Look over to the 2 at Alex. Alex would be sitting down. It would be her left. Your brother's the smart one.
I'm trying to think here. Which one of these did I grab? I think it was... Nope, that's not it. Wrong one.
If we had heat, we also might be able to blunt the attacks of these creatures. And I wanted to tell you, also, before we do anything else, I wanted to tell you, Your Honor, what I told the guard captain about fire and blunt weapons seeming to have a much stronger effect to disable and destroy these things.
Yes. That is what Jomai has reported to me as of last night. I have been filling out paperwork to requisition more appropriate materials on the city's time.
Okay, do remember, Hrogar is always happy to assist the city at a reasonable discount.
I know.
We care about our civic duty.
Still, you'll lean forward. As to where they're coming from, I have a bit of a personal view. Many of you weren't born when this happened. Even Jomai wasn't here at the time. 50 years ago. Well, my father was the mayor. My brother and I lived fairly normal lives. Until many of our town's leaders and citizens were being killed off. Mysteriously in the night, one after another. It was bizarre and ritualistic. As he leans forward, his eyes are shattered. I was not exactly a speaker, but I did my best. My brother was the one who managed to rally our soldiers when we discovered the culprit. A sect of a cult of Rovagug. To those who in the room, you may roll religion.
Said that you were trying to remember what the name of that place that is, but would be at a complete loss because not I'm a religious person.
Alright, that's 2. Anyone else want to roll religion?
I'm gonna roll, but I don't have rank.
That's fine.
for doing it.
Just means you don't have any bonuses to it. Let's see.
Let's see. Do you,
Intelligence mod, but
And Rumel.
I'd like to roll to assist Dorvan.
Alright.
Never mind.
Gods don't exist!
Pretty much, yeah. Oh wait, I forgot. Alexis went to train in a different area of the world.
So,
What?
Rumel, would you like to roll religion? Alright, that's good enough. 19. Alright. Chizzy, Alex, you don't have much of an idea. Chizzy, you've heard the name. That's about it. Dorvan, Corin, Rumel. You all know the name from different aspects. Corin, you know this to be a destroyer, a god of destruction.
What about Ramel? Because
I'm getting to it. Dorvan, you know that Rovagug was sealed away. Rovagug being one of the most dangerous creations of the world. A monster, a god, bound by many. Bound by 13 chains. Sealed by 13 gods. Rumel, you know this name quite well, as he is the one god that Sarenrae despises. The only god she actively hates. And because of your knowledge of her religion, you know the name, the one name that is rarely spoken, the one that is heard in hushed whispers of him. For he is known as the Lord of Madness, the Beast of Destruction, the Chained One, the Scarlet King. As he looks up at you, this cult sought to perform rites to appease their god, to gain power. And in that time, they were using our people as sacrificial fodder. We went to war against them, and, well, in one bloody battle, we killed them. All of them. My brother fell in the fighting. His face gains a pained expression. As anyone may roll a sense motive on him if they wish.
I like that.
I will be rolling
Get
a
past
sense
me.
motive as well. Give me a moment.
Yep.
I am the master of shit talking. You cannot get past me.
The master of shit talking damn near got shit talk against the fucking stalker through it. It's close enough.
Okay. Dorvan,
Damn it.
Lodge, Koran, you want to cry? This is such a sad story.
But yeah, Izzy, it's so sad.
Alex, Ramel. Alex, something feels off. Ramel, something is clearly off, but you can't place it. And Shezzy, this is such a sad story. I can't imagine if Doravan or Koran were to die.
It's basically sobbing into a drink that's been shoved into her hands.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a hot drink or something.
No, it's an empty glass, but it's halfway full.
Yes. As
They didn't want all those alligator tears on the carpet.
right, Koran. Anyway, he looks at you. I believe the cultists were casting some sort of fell magic on that battlefield. I believe their magic is the result of these undead attacks. I ask you to take your time to prepare. I will provide you with not only a reward for your work, but a few resources. I ask that you prepare and head out to that battlefield to investigate.
Alright.
I need
Question.
to be
Are you sure you killed all of them?
I'm almost certain. He looks at the blade on the desk. Califlax would have told me otherwise. As the blade flashes in response to his words, just like a faint wave going over its surface of a sheen of color. Anyone who sees that may make a spellcraft.
Okay.
Would Shizzy see it despite looking into the glass and crying?
I will say you can.
Taking
I'll give you the opportunity to see it. Yes.
Damn it, my sheet keeps shrinking. I've got to fix this.
Pretty sure that's not the only thing shrinking, buddy.
Can you roll 20? So I'm gonna assist Koran. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Although Shizzy doesn't do bad.
It's fine. So the three of you, Alex, Koran, and Shezzy, you've met enough of a threshold to know what that is. That flash, that response, that's not just an intelligent weapon. That's a black blade. And in response to the mayor, you know it's his.
Oh. Nifty.
Califax has an uncanny ability to sense life. He would have told me if anyone was left alive if I'd come near them. Even my brother.
What if they weren't? Your Honor, what if they weren't alive? What if it was a lich?
What if they were faking death? I believe there is magics that allow you to do such a thing.
There are very powerful magics. I'm sure that the Black Blade would likely be able to bypass most ways of feigning death. But if it was something that was actually already dead and was revived by forces other than natural life, would the blade have detected that?
He looks up at both of you. If it's a lich, then we are well and truly doomed.
Shizzy asks, what if they came back after your sword, blade, wait, no. What after?
Oh yes. What if some of them fled and returned later?
That is
That
one
is
of
a
the
thing.
few explanations I could come up with. Though unlikely, as we seemingly decimated the entire cult. That is why I'd like you to investigate the battlefield.
Yes. So I'm going to have my hands full preparing for this.
Yes. Now, each of you. Most importantly, I need to make sure that you are equipped, but also I want to make sure you have useful things at your disposal. Young Dorvan, I have spoken to the clergy of Serenray. If you go down there, they'll have a useful item for you.
Ah, most excellent. The healing items at the Temple of Serenray are the finest.
Yes. Let's see here. As for others...
I remember.
let's see. Young Shezi.
I know it sounds weird. I think he would know her. I think he would call her by her formal name, Shizalina. Not. Would he?
He probably would know it and use it. That seems suitable to the mayor.
Yes. Young Shizalina. Let's see here. Of... What was I thinking of? I believe I requisitioned something that would be useful to you. Let me think.
Potentially a better gun. That's a better idea.
Yes, not that, but there is a... I spoke to our wizard, Weasler. God, his name is weird.
Yes. 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 I spoke to him yesterday.
He
as well,
does.
myself.
I managed to talk him out of a piece of his stock. You'll find a particular green cloak that he has. Just let him know I sent you, and he'll get it for you.
And in Weasler's voice. Perfectly. I didn't agree to anything like that. What the hell are you talking about, Mayor?
Shezzy having.
Trust me, if I could do a better voice impression, I'd be doing the Mad Hatter from Disney's Alice in Wonderland for him.
Question.
Which version of the Mad Hatter? The live action or the animated?
The animated one.
Can I ask a question? How many times has Shizzy had to deal with the wizard in her lifetime?
A few.
Potentially, she knows how bad this is if she's got to ask him for something.
Yeah.
And you have someone who can mimic.
I'm gonna say that Shizzy kind of holds the bridge of her nose and says, "Can you do me a formal writ, just in case?"
I have it right here for both of you. As you'll point to a couple envelopes on the desk.
Oh, I probably won't need that. He takes the writ. The Temple of Serenray knows me well. I
Yes,
spend
it's
most
just for
evenings
paperwork
there helping with the
reasons.
wounded.
Yeah, she takes the writ very happily and says, "Just in case he doesn't believe, just in case it's the."
It is simply for paperwork reasons.
Also to make sure that he doesn't stiff me in the deal.
Why would I stiff you? I never stiff you.
Koran. Yes, I believe you could use some better equipment, young fellow. Here. Hands you an envelope. Talk to my cousin. He is, I believe you know him, he's our local weaponsmith. He can provide you with a suit of armor that will benefit you quite well. And if you prefer a different weapon, looks at the Cora, do you have the stone out on your mug still? Like, are you carrying it with you?
Day drinking in the mayor's office.
I mean, he's drinking.
Ooh.
Folks Elven wine here.
That actually is a good question. No, it would have been pulled off.
Say it, Corin. Is the rock the winter steel visible at the moment? All right. You look at it. Oh, that is. I've not seen winter steel in some time. My looks at the size. He actually comes over to your belt and crouches down to look at it. You, young fellow. Yeah, one moment. Goes back over to his desk, writes something on paper, and then just folds it over. Take this with the envelope. My uncle can apply that to whatever weapon you wish, and I think there's enough there to apply to your favorite mug there, so it'll keep things a bit cooler.
You know, I had that exact thought, Mayor.
Well, I've seen a similar
The
application.
last time you saw this was 50 years ago?
Yes, I've seen a similar application for the stuff. My father. Oh my, he had a curved blade coated in this stuff. It was about 300 years old. The metal that he added to the edge. It was stolen when he was killed, unfortunately.
Who stole it?
Unfortunately, we will never know. The assassin left his body desiccated.
Wait, how?
Never say never, because we might find out who assassinated him by finding that blade.
Perhaps.
So we'll keep an eye out for it.
When your father was assassinated, was this before or after you guys found the Colt?
It was one of the last strokes before we went to battle with them. They killed him and several prominent members in the city, unfortunately.
That rules out that thought. Damn it.
Now, you young fellow, looks at Rumel. I haven't seen you in some time.
I just returned not too long ago.
I can't think of much, but if there's anything you need, let me know.
Just a simple set of armor and shield, maybe. I'll be good to go.
Alright. Well then, perhaps... Very well. Why don't you follow Koran to my uncle's forge. Here, he'll hand you a similar writ. This is for good steel. Looks at your hands actually, because it's like, you seem to have some training. Looking at the calluses there, you might be able to convince him to let him use his forge.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. I've had quite a bit of training in the plane of fire. From some of the greatest.
Just let him know I sent you. Now, should you return from your expedition with hopefully some information, anything, hell, just return alive, and I'll gladly reward you further.
Well,
yes, Dorvan?
I intend to figure out what is going on, and I will do my level best to ensure that my friends return alive.
Good. Well then, should you return alive,
Family.
I will reward your group with a total to be split amongst you, 1,500 gold. The city can afford that much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
As well as a let's say, a couple minor items from my family's personal collection.
Well, definitely. I think we should get to our preparations as swiftly as we are able.
Yes.
We definitely need to be about finding out where these are coming from. Hopefully we can get there quick enough and blunt the next coming wave of undead before it hits the guards on the wall.
That is all we can hope for. Captain, if you will show them out, I have work to do.
What about me?
Oh, yes. You seem to be easy to forget with that face of yours some days. That
What
could
can
be
I
an
say?
asset.
It's a trick.
That can be an asset some days. One moment. Well,
Boy, you sure have a forgettable face. Thanks, that's a great compliment.
in particular, I haven't thought of anything particular, but is there anything in particular you think you would need for this job?
Yes, actually. I would love to be able to use my full range of skills on these skeletons if we happen to fight more of them on our way there. Because, you know, saving the town is why I came back.
He looks
I
at
thought
you.
turned back up.
Actually gonna roll his... Okay. He looks at you. I think I have an idea as to what you might need.
A true death crystal?
As he's going to wander over to this wall, picking up Califax and insert it into the wall.
Oh?
He then begins to twist the hilt of the sword. One way, then another, then another.
Almost as if in a combination?
Yes.
How far does he twist it each way?
Give me a perception check and I'll give you, and I will determine how accurate you can tell.
Fail me now.
Oh, Rumel! Alex?
After getting that sense motive, I'd basically be doing the same thing.
Yeah, Romeo and I both had the same fucking thoughts at this point going, yeah,
know
something's wrong.
Alex, I will consider you helping Rumel on this since you're having
That's
bad
what I was
thoughts.
say.
And can Chizzy try as well?
Yeah, actually, I think Boravan would probably be paying attention. Let's see what he gets on his perception.
You know what? Sure.
We looked at each other once and went, oh, he's bullshitting. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Dorvan,
Anyone who does
no, Dorvan, I'll
Yeah.
say you're high enough that with Rumel, basically, Rumel will be disseminating this information anyway, probably. Should the time come.
Chizzy just fails completely.
Now, if you consider the neutral position of the
bounce.
blade and his thumb at the top of where he's holding it, where it is completely horizontal, neutral, this is how he's turning it. In left, right, left. That
So,
is how many degrees he is turning it in each direction.
7, 10, 27.
You can hear a faint clicking. Also, you know what, Alex? Roll me a quick engineering. Even though you don't have any ranks in the skill, this is something you would think about.
I mean,
Considering this is something you would have ideas about, I'm actually going to give you a +5.
Can Shizzy do? If they're disseminating the information, although Shizzy doesn't get the perception, can she roll her knowledge engineering as well?
You know what? Sure, you can roll one as well. Different
Just
information.
Shizzy.
Shezzy, that is a peculiar lock. They have to replace the
Shit.
wallpaper every time, seemingly, or use mending. Alex, that's good enough.
Yes.
This
No.
is a peculiar lock. This is probably one of the more secure locks you've seen, considering he's using an intelligent weapon as the key.
Yeah.
And you know enough about Black Blades to know they will fight you if they don't like you.
Information will be divulged at a later point when the party's all together.
Exactly. So he goes in there, opens a small hatch, digs around. Yes, this will do the job. Closes it. It's not the most powerful one I've got, but I'm willing to part with it. As he closes it,
Hatch?
and the wallpaper looks completely undamaged.
How big is this hatch? Like a small container? Like pocket-sized, or maybe
No,
a
the
small
opening-
chest?
The opening looks to be about the size of a standard King James Bible. So, about the size of
I have a
most
feeling I know what that
books.
is. Well, I'm gonna make a
As-
mental note of where that is on the wall.
As a note, though, it's hard to tell because the wallpaper looks completely undamaged. Even though you heard the tearing of wallpaper when he stuck the blade in.
Self-mending.
As he'll hand you a small, dark obsidian-like crystal. This isn't the most powerful one, but it will allow you to do a little extra damage.
Spellcraft?
Yes.
What the fuck is this thing? And I'm also going to point it at Dorvan, pointing and looking at it going,
Yeah.
see if Dorvan also knows what it is.
Since I seem to be having good luck with my spellcraft rolls this
Yeah.
evening.
Like, I don't know things. You can just go today. Dude, what the fuck? Yeah, we got it all. I'm pretty sure I got it, but never hurts to have an extra eye out going, yeah, what the fuck is this?
Alright, good enough. That's more than enough. Alex?
And then I will assist him, so that's actually a 28.
Assist them.
Alex?
Yes.
You know this to be a lesser true depth crystal.
Ooh, yay! I thought it was.
It lets you
Which,
do
if I
up-
read.
Now, for a rogue, this would allow them to do up to 3d6 sneak attack damage on any undead with the weapon it's attached to. It also does an additional 1d6 untyped damage to any undead. The weapon is treated as a +1 weapon
I'm going to.
while attached.
Ooh, I like that.
These effects only
That's
last so long as it is attached to said weapon.
And I believe
Hold on.
the last crystal is a.
Does it also allow
least true
critical hits on undead?
Huh?
Does it also allow critical hits on undead?
Yes.
That's an important note.
Yes, it is. Hey guys, I can actually start doing shit again.
Okay.
He actually
So
looks at
clapping.
you as you hold it. Funny thing about that one. It glows a faint red whenever there's any kind of undead nearby. Discovered it with my brother when we found it in an old tomb. Didn't know I was glowing until a mummy popped out of a casket right next to us.
Okay.
Oh, I'm glad you managed to not to survive without mummy rot.
Ah, we were lucky. Those were the good days. As he
Yeah.
sets his sword back on its stand on his desk, the blade murmuring quietly in Elven, as he
What is it saying?
just says, "Good to be handled again."
Good to be handled?
Yes. As you, from what you can tell with that statement, this sword has not seen action for a while.
Okay.
It's ready for blood. No.
Yeah, it probably is at this point. I don't like that.
No, the knowledge of its master trying just to use it again, not
Yeah,
necessarily.
in this case,
It's probably that,
in a
but
way, it's more like a person being starved for physical contact.
Yeah.
touch me. No. Touch me. Fine. Oh yeah.
This is why I don't do it. You get weird.
Anyway, he's gonna look at you. Well, no. I believe that is everything I can do for the moment. I will leave you to your preparations. The captain will escort you out, and I wish you all the best of luck on your journey. I hope to see you all safe when you return.
Then on our side, anything's possible.
Yes, anything is.
Since vote of the bear on that statement, does he actually want us to return healthy? And does he want us to return safe? Or no, I'm joking. I'm pretty sure he does.
You can sense motive if you want.
He's lying about something, so
Yeah.
I will accept Rumel.
Okay. Okay, Ramel. You're the one who can get this. He's tired. His eyes are weary. But he's genuine about the fact that he wants to see you young people come home safe.
So then there's just some thought to myself. So there's something about his past that's suspicious. Not suspicious. There's nothing suspicious about him, right?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
You know, there's a quote from Doctor Who I'd like to say in this point,
Say it.
and I'm gonna directly look at Rumel. Doesn't he look tired?
Ah, yes.
I hate myself. I'm sorry you said that. That's where my mind instantly went to.
Alright then. So I'm going to take the party back to the inn as you do your preparations.
Well, Dorovan would not even stop at the end first. He
I
would
know.
go directly to the Temple of Sarenrae.
This is where you're going to be meeting up afterward. So, everyone, you can place your tokens where you will be afterward. Dorovan, you are essentially the last to arrive in this case.
Damn it, I need to cut my mustache again.
Can I know? Can I have some kind of information on what I was given?
Well, we can do your scene first then. As you arrive at the Weasel Shop.
The weasels.
Yes.
The weasels. No, I'm trying
Locals
to
just call it the Weasel Shop because it has a weasel hanging above the door. But really, it's the Weasel's wares. Now, it's up to you whether you go inside or not. Calda is just looking at you like, what, boss?
I did whistle for him as soon as I stepped out, and kind of walked with him slowly. You know, just thinking about what was being said, and just thinking,
Boy, that was a sad story.
And thinking about
In your haste to leave, you still have a cup full of tears.
Yes.
You
Basically,
may add that to your inventory.
Dry them out for me. I could actually use salty tears.
salty tears. Okay. Yeah. And that's it.
Salt for something.
It's not gonna wait, has it?
I'll say it weighs maybe 1.5 pounds.
For salty tears?
It's nearly,
well,
it's a nearly full glass.
Well, water does weigh 8 pounds per square foot.
8 pounds per gallon.
She's looking
Up
into
to
this
8
cup.
foot.
She's looking at this cup and saying, "I wonder if I could turn this into actual salt."
You don't know. But now, this is a game of will Shezzy spill?
Yes, she's got. Although she has got a very good reflex save, that's a good thing. I think.
Alright. So, as you make your way there to the Wild Weasel's Wares, it's a tarnished weasel sign hanging above the door, thumping against the stone building we're in. Creak, thump, creak.
She's
thump.
got. She also got the writ. I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah.
She'll go in. Avoid something or other that always is there, something that the what's it called that most locals know about, but people that are new in town don't know about.
Do you mean the entire creaky floorboard in the saloon that everyone seems to forget is a programmed human instinct?
You know what? Make me a perception check as you go in. You managed to avoid it as their oversized blue cat tries to confront you at the door.
I avoid it and kind of give the cat a little scritch on top of the head.
Don't touch me.
Do I know this cat's name?
Yes, this is the Weasel Man's familiar.
Has it got a name?
Yes. Kettle.
Kettle, you know it. You know not to try that after the last time where you hit the door.
No.
The oversized cat, as big as you, wanders off. Letting out a bird call. Hey, boss, you got a customer. What was that? As the Weasel Man, as the many children of the town call him, comes to the desk. Oh, it's you.
Yes, it's me.
Why do you have a glass of water?
It's my tears.
Why do you have a glass of tears?
I'll explain that when I work out if it can become salt.
You're a strange one.
The feeling's mutual.
The cat hops up on the counter, sits down on a brown package.
Chili wanders forward and gives him the writ. The mayor told me to come asking for this.
Let's see here. Opens it up. Oh yes, he requisitioned this with someone. Oh, you, okay. Looks over. God damn it, Kettle. As Kettle is laying on the brown package that was for you.
He's a cat.
No. Actually, you know what, Shezzy? You may roll nature to ascertain what this creature is. And I will give you a bonus as you're familiar with it. You may roll with a +4.
Bet you I know what it is.
I very likely do.
I guarantee you I know what that is. I have had one as a familiar.
Yeah, Shezzy, you're familiar with these. This is a Grimalkin. They're not exactly common, but they're common enough that usually they tend to pick spellcasters they like instead. How the Weasel Man got one is a mystery.
Kettle,
But Kettle seems to get along with him.
Kettle. She pokes at Kettle and looks at him as if to say, as if to, and using a little bit of her rat thing.
Rat to a cat. That's not scary.
Cat shows.
That's food.
Kettle shows her teeth. Kettle shows his teeth and pats you on the head with a paw. Nice try, kid. Kettle's gonna look at you. What do you give me? giving you the grin akin to the Cheshire Cat.
What am I giving? You the chance to move?
I think I'll stay here. I like where I'm sitting. If it fits, I sit.
Yep, I have nice fishy for you. Where are you, pretty kitty?
You're not there.
She looked at Weasel and goes,
Well, I can't do anything. Once Kettle makes up his mind, it's hard to move him. Last time I tried to move him, he turned into a warthog, and I couldn't pick him up. He put my back out.
how about I let you ride powder for a while?
No deal. I don't like dogs.
You know he's
The
not
cat
a dog.
looks you up and down.
She looks
tell you
herself
what.
up and down.
I'll tell you what. I'll move. I'm feeling a bit thirsty. You gotta give me a cup of your salty tears.
She discerns his cup. She discerns his head. How about I put this on top of your head?
Do that, and I turn into a tiger and chase you out of the shop.
At least you'll be off my item.
Put that on my head, and I'll put it on, and I'll make sure you have this on your head when you wake up next time.
A verbal?
No, a fully intact glass.
She looks at Weasel and says, Where's his dog? Where's the dog? Where's the cat? Where's a food bowl?
He doesn't have a food bowl. Just here. Just put it on the counter. Motions for you to set the glass down.
Yeah. Puts the glass down, says,
Kettle takes his time, gets up, stretches, does the whole stretch legs, stretch back, stretch legs, stretch back, stretch neck, walk, stretch,
I was gonna say licks his crotch a
and
few
then
times.
walks over to the glass, sniffs, and as a cat does, begins to stick his whole face in the glass and drink it. As his face begins to mush and slide into the glass.
says he very quickly gets the thing off the table as soon as he as soon as like it's freed. So what is it?
Oh, that is a. Well, that is a. Let's see, if I remember correctly, I believe that is a minor cloak of resistance. I had a few left over from an old shipment that I couldn't sell.
I think that's helpful.
And it just kind of got buried in the back. Out of
So
character
plus one
chassis,
cloak
it
of
is a +1 cloak of resistance.
Okay. Alright then. I'll add that to my sheet.
As when Kettle finishes, pulls his head out of the glass. Ah, the salty tears of a grumpy customer. I
It's
live
not
for
a-
this job. Hops off the desk and walks into the back.
He says very calmly as he walks away, hearing that it's not of a, they aren't of a customer.
I heard that. Don't be surprised if you find poop in your boots next week.
Don't be surprised if you find. I'll think of something!
As you leave the store, you can hear the cat cackling from the back. And that is how Shezzy lost a cup of salty tears to a cat, and got laughed at. Is probably sitting at a table with her hood up because she's embarrassed.
Yes,
Very transaction.
she's embarrassed, but she's also trying to think of ways to get this cat back.
All right.
Thankfully,
So-
she will probably forget about it by the time her next experiment explodes.
Mhm.
No, she's thinking itching powder.
That's going to be an interesting experiment to have explode on you.
All right. So we're gonna take care of the next two people over. Since Dorvan's probably gonna be the last one to arrive. Rumel, Koran.
Yes.
Two are heading to the weaponsmith.
Mhm.
Now, yep, weapon and armor smith. Drovor Ada is a. He's not a half elf. He's not even an elf. He's a dwarf. He married the mayor's sister.
Kinky.
That makes sense.
Now, he looks at the wrist. My brother sent you over. Alright. I can help you, big guy, as he looks at Koran. Oh, you got some of that stuff too. Winter steel. This is rare. Alright, I can help you with that. Very easily. I can apply that to a weapon easily. I've got some stuff already made. As to armor, come with me. As he's going to go through a process of fitting Koran with full plate. Let's see here. Let's see here. Got this piece here. Alright. Not to wait on a decision from your friends for that, I can understand, but yes, we'll fit you with the plate, and I've got a... I knew a fellow who came through. He requested an axe like the one you want. He didn't pay me. So I didn't give him the axe. Give him a good kicking in the ass is what he got. As he'll pull out the hefty but well-crafted orcish double axe. you come back to me. It'll only take me. Looks at the winter steel. At most, I'd like to say a roll a die for him. Huh? You're lucky. I'm one of the few people who could get that done in an hour. Could also make a ring for your mug, like the mayor suggested. That's easy work.
I suggested it first.
So yes, whatever you decide on that winter steel, just bring it by. I can get it done very quickly. Why don't you take a few test swings with that axe of yours? I'll go help your friend. Let's see here. Let's see here. Alright. So, Rumel. The smith comes out to you. Alright. So, lad, we see the missive for you.
Hand it to him.
Alright. Looks like there's enough here to get you a suit of plate and a shield, if that's what you'd like.
Just that.
Alright. There's a note here. I'm looking at your hands. If you wish, you should craft it yourself. I'll provide some assistance and you can use my tools for it. And my brother's covered it, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Not really. Because I would have given you my chain shirt as an exchange for all this too. Because I just need the plate for right now to help assist my friends here with dealing with this issue, but I don't mind crafting the plate myself.
Alright. I wouldn't mind then. Come with me. As he'll lead you back to the forge. We'll be doing steel. We'll be getting the process together, getting the forge to a point where it'll work for you. And in the back of your mind, you'll remember the words of your mentor.
Hold it over the flame until it cracks, and pour it over the armor you are planning to make.
Yep. Basically, you want to get the trinket to crack, and then once the armor is cooled enough that you can touch it, you begin applying it as if it were an ointment to skin.
So yeah, it's like he's mumbling that to himself as you can see his hand in the fire.
Yep. And what you do? Oh, it's that bad. Because he sees you're
What
on
is it?
fire, so he's like, don't have to worry too much.
He's like, sir, I guess you'll figure that out later then.
Well, if it has anything to do with armor smithing, I guess I'm curious. Now, let's get to it. As, let's see here. Importantly, Ramel, you hold it in the fire for about 5 minutes. In that time, you take 4 fire damage, which gets above your resist 5 of how hot the forge is.
I imagine like his symbol is like branding into my palm, basically.
It's not that bad, but you're going to have some low-degree burns on the palm of your hand for a bit.
Okay.
As you feel the brass trinket begin to crack. Enough that you'll be able to open it up by hand.
Okay.
Alright. Pull your hand out of the forge.
Look at it, examine it.
You see a hairline crack, a smooth line running along it. And with the instructions, basically all you gotta do now is set it aside. So, with this smithing check, apply Masterwork Tools.
What do
Apply
Masterwork
another-
tools apply?
Apply another 2 because this is a Specifically, I'm applying this because this is a dwarven made and maintained forge.
So +2 bonus?
A total of +4.
Okay, cool.
And you'll receive an additional +4 from them because the Forge Master is going to be assisting you to make sure your armor turns out properly. Not only helping you forge it, but helping you fit it.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So I got a total of 23 with all the help.
Yep. Alright. That is more than enough. As the armor is pulled and you begin to cool it, you pull it out just before it is at the cool stage that it would be done. And you crack open the trinket. Inside you see a kind of pale red ointment. And as the instructions said, you begin to apply it to the armor, running it over it. And the trinket, despite its small size, has enough for the whole suit of full plate. Once this is complete and it cools completely, the armor undergoes transmutation. It is now made of a strange brass. That I have never seen before, lad.
The work of my master. He taught me this art, and I was gracious enough to be able to leave with my life with it.
As now you have the item I gave you the stats for. A masterwork set of a 3D brass full plate. And he's able to fit
Brass
you.
actually conducts heat better than anything else.
Yes.
It would retain it better, more than it would disperse it.
Yes. That is why this armor does some very special stuff, even in its mundane form.
Oh, God.
It deals 2 fire damage to any creatures that attack with natural weapons or unarmed strikes. It has damage reduction too. And that is it at Masterwork, basically. Also, it counts as medium armor due to its weight. At least from the movement aspect. So yeah, Rumel, you have that armor. He fits you with a shield. And you are good to go.
Thank you.
On your way back, actually, you are going to be ending up hitting by the Temple of Sarenrae. Dorovan, I was wrong. Rumel will actually be the last one to arrive, as Koren is with him as well. So those two will be last to arrive, meaning you'll be able to do bar things with them.
Shazzy's going to probably be the first to arrive.
Yep. Alex is also there, as they didn't have anything particular to grab, I think. Right?
Could we do my stop off at the Temple of Sarenrae?
That's what I'm about to do.
Excellent.
As after you do a thing, it's going to trigger a thing, and then they're going to get back after you do.
Okay.
So Dorovan, you've arrived at the Temple of Sarenrae. You've got the small missive from the mayor. It's mostly a formality in your case. That's about it. They know you well.
Yes, I honestly, I've decided that, considering his role in life, that, and as well as offering his primary supplication to Caden Kalian, he also does offer some offerings to Sarenrae as well,
Fair
since
enough.
she is the goddess of healers.
That is fair enough. So, when you get there, you approach and you are greeted by a very familiar face, Sister Isabella Kinderland. You would also recognize her
sister.
as Dorvan's mother at this point. Not Dorvin, Rumel's mother. Dorvin, you don't know your
Right. Nobody knows Dorvan's mother.
Anyway,
Screw
But
it
no,
up. This
you
is
know-
your mother. Oh man, you don't know your mother.
you know Rumel's mother fairly well, though. You've worked with her a few times. In fact,
I'm probably
she is one of the
probably
more,
a few times a month, knowing how often
she is one of
Dorvan
the
would stop by the
NPCs whose
temple.
art I'm actually going to drop in the Discord channel. And she is one of the few who is not only a good alchemist thanks to training from Rogor, is actually a decent surgeon.
Oh, then she would definitely have been one of Dorvan's teachers as well.
Yes.
Would she be one of Shezzy's teachers as well? But she, hasn't been around her for much.
She hasn't taught much of alchemy. That's more Rogor's thing.
Ah,
She just has a knack for surgery. Always had a
Dorvan
steady
actually
hand.
happens to have gone to learn surgery.
Yeah.
ah.
So yes, she'll see you. Dorvan, hello. Oh, I see you have a note from the mayor. Seeing the little seal on the note you're carrying.
Oh yes, he said you had some useful gear for me. I will be the appointed healer for my friends. We're going to investigate the undead.
Ah. Very well. As she'll take a look at it. Oh, yes, I'll be right back. As she steps into a back room that you know to be more of her quote-unquote operating room / alchemy lab.
Dorvan, no doubt, has probably helped her with surgery there at least once.
Yeah. As she comes back out with a bundle wrapped in a bit of cloth. Here. They'll size to fit you.
Dorvan opens the package.
What you see inside are a pair of dark brown leather gloves. They look a little worn, especially at the tips of the fingers, but they look
Dorvan
well cared for.
pulls off the dark brown leather gloves he was already wearing. Puts them in his pocket and pulls on the new gloves.
Alright. As they size down, you see the runes appear on them. You see the faint lines of magic. And being familiar with healing magic, healing in general, I'm going to have you roll a spellcraft, you recognize these as healer's gloves. As you've seen Isabella use a pair of these herself.
Ah.
Hers are black, which helps with a lot of stains.
Dark brown and black are basically the only colors that medic gloves should be.
Yes.
Well,
But yes,
well,
the mayor asked that we prepare a set of those for you.
yes, this will be quite helpful in keeping my friends alive.
I also have one other thing for you. As she'll pull out a small pouch, little bag that clinks a bit as she hands it to you.
Oh, thank you. Open and examine it.
Roll me 2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus
Of course you say
2.
those trapped.
It was trapped. There are 2d4 plus 2 weasels! That wouldn't be a trap for Dorvin, though. That'd be a happy gift.
Right?
He's like, more pets!
The reflexes so they don't jump into your eyes whenever they spring out of the bag.
Alright, inside you find 5 Cure Light Wounds potions.
Damn.
I was able
Excellent.
to prepare these, well, in the short amount of time I had.
Yes, well, this will be most useful to make sure that I can have a little extra to keep my friends on the, the top side of the dirt where they belong.
Yes. You take care of it.
You know I will.
Worry
I
about
will.
what's out there.
I wouldn't want to deprive you of one of your assistant medics.
Yes. Most importantly, though, take care of my son.
You know I will. He is one of my charges now. I will take great care of him. You know me.
Good. As she will turn around and go back into her lab, as you'll hear a bit more clinking and work.
Dorovan is going to drop his last 10 silvers in the alms coffer and before he departs.
Alright. When you head out to the bar, as Rommel and Corbin, you come around a few minutes later. Rommel, you see her mother coming out the front. She's looking around. And, well, she spots your armor. And then she sees your hair.
Wildly smiling.
As she quickly descends the steps, carrying another pouch in her arms. In fact, this is a check that both you and Dorovan could both roll. Roll me a heal check.
Heal check. Okay.
Actually, how does this go?
You both would notice dark circles around her eyes. This could be attributed to the undead, potentially.
Mother,
And
are
she
you
could be
sleeping?
getting lack of sleep. Oh, it's fine. She puts her hand on her cheek. Here. Hands you the pouch. These are for you and your friends.
Thank you. And I put a hand on her shoulder, but it's not okay. But that's what we're going on to do. I'm going to make sure that you don't have to keep staying up every night trying to heal people from these skeleton attacks.
Right. Be safe.
I will, Mother.
I'm going to get the
Get some
first bit of
sleep.
sleep
You
I've
deserve
gotten in a while. As she'll wander back into the temple, you look inside the pouch. You'll see the fruits of her labor, as she put in a bit of extra work to make these. You'll see 2 smaller red vials. These are darker in color than the standard Cure Light Wounds potion you would recognize. If you want to make a quick spellcraft or arcana or actually religion to identify, you can.
Okay. I'll make religion just because I don't have spellcraft or knowledge arcana.
Good enough. This is very likely a Cure Moderate Wounds potion.
Okay, so 2 cure
She's
moderates.
clearly been spending time rushing the work on these to make sure you had them. And you have 2 of them.
Tears up a little bit. Oh, Mother, you've always worked too hard.
Actually, I just realized
I
something.
greatly appreciate the work that your mother does.
I'm just
Yeah,
imagining this
really.
conversation going on back at the bar at this point.
Yeah, I'm just wondering something about the ability to brew potion, right? I can make Cure Light Wounds.
Yes.
Can I consider starting making a stock for us?
If you have the gold and the time, yes.
That's
I
the
think-
sticky ticket.
Yeah, I think every time we would have a bunch of downtime, any crafter would be spending their time crafting something, and Dorovan probably would be helping his father, and so on and so forth.
But Cure Light
When
Wounds.
I play after this, I always create a potion when I can.
Dorovan also has brew potion and would definitely be spending time. And also, I need to make some profession herbalism checks to see how much herbs I can gather in the time that we have for our preparation.
Yeah, you've got about a day, so make me 2.
2 proficient herbalism.
I'll say you're taking 6 hours for each.
Day of preparation.
Cool.
Well, in that day, I'm going to be spending studying the skeletons.
Yep.
It's good to know one's enemy.
I'm guessing that they've been taken to Shezzy's lab, which is now filled with skeletons and.
I only needed the one there. After we studied it the one time, we can move them back to wherever they would be. But in the entire time I'm studying them, Shezzy.
Hold on. I just realized those rolls are incorrect. I haven't adjusted something on this.
Adjust first and then re-roll, please.
Yeah.
You forgot your updated skill points, didn't you?
No, I updated the skill points. My profession herbalism is not wisdom based. It's
Intelligence based.
Yeah.
Based?
I think it's charisma based.
I think you're right as well. I'm going to.
My heal is intelligence based, and I forgot to change that as well.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
I will double check because I'm aware.
Okay. And I have a +3 on my, and that's much better. Now let's try that again.
Yep.
Boop.
Okay.
And boop.
Okay, you didn't do too bad. You were trying to refill your
Yes, your profession herbalist.
your other lay on hands type ability, correct?
No, that one I get back daily for free. What I'm trying to do is get herbs for making healing potions.
Okay.
Your master herbalist takes off your.
I'm trying to.
Let
Yes,
Red explain, please, D-Man.
I'm trying to go out and gather a GPV of herbs that I can turn into the same GPV of Cure Light Wounds potion.
Doing the alchemical version versus the what the fuck is the term?
Okay.
The magic version, I think is what they call it.
I'm doing the herbal version because I'm a divine herbalist.
No, but the same thing is there. The alchemical, which is herbs and such, versus magic.
Yes, but
I think that's two.
Mine would still be a Cure Light Wounds potion.
Yeah, but I know in
Exactly
Pathfinder
the same.
they have.
Anyway, we can
Two
discuss
types
this,
of
Use
guys.
the herbs plus
So,
their own
guys-
magical essence
Guys,
to do
discuss
alchemy.
this after
So
game,
it's practically the
please.
same.
Dorvan, with those
Okay.
2 rolls, I will give you 400 gold worth, which I believe is a total of 8 potions.
Excellent. Then I would let Shezzy know that the amount of herbs that I got, so that we could
Alright.
work together to make up potions.
Not only that, Hrogor will assist you. In
Oh,
fact,
yes,
you will
that's
have
a
to
very
assist
good
him
point.
to speed it up,
That's a very good point.
as he does not want
Yes.
you to go out unprepared.
How many?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, Shezzy does have. She doesn't have Cure Light Wounds. They prepared spell, but she prepared thing.
It doesn't matter. Rogar has it, and all we're doing is assisting with an alchemy check.
Yep. So roll your alchemy real quick so I can determine his bonus.
Okay, I'm going to be rolling profession herbalism because I
That's
can
fine.
use that for all purposes on alchemy.
And
Well,
yes,
all
I believe
purposes when it involves herbal ingredients.
Go
I
on.
was going to say, I believe it runs off your charisma as well. If you wanted to
Just-
fix that
just-
as well.
Don't
I
worry,
already
D-Man.
fixed it. It does run off my charisma, and I
Worry
already
about
fixed
it
that.
after game, please.
Damn, that's awesome, dude. I have to look at that class now because that
Now,
would be
with
really
that
fucking
roll,
cool to play.
I will say Hrogor is able to create the batch that night.
Yikes! Me, Shezzy, and Rogar all got high ass rolls,
It runs in the family.
right?
And with that, potions brewed, armor crafted, cats
Well,
given tears,
like
Alex
to bring
poking
something
death.
up to Corin before, if
Go
we
on.
can. I think message has a good enough range.
Go on.
I think it's like 300 or 400 feet. I'm gonna mention to him, hey, so you know that winter steel? I know the mayor and I both talked about it. You think maybe I could use it on my sword? There, buddy. And we get you that nice ring to have a nice cool ale, and I buy you some.
I'm guessing by that point you're just hearing laughing off the other end.
Some dwarven stout. As a
there we go. You had him a cool ale.
Not the point. I'm
You
saying
had
that...
me a cold ale.
So I will say this then for prep time. Corin, if you want to give him the winter steel, you now have an ever cooling mug. Alex, you now have a weapon that does an additional D4 of cold damage. Unlike the ice enchantment, though, this can crit with your weapon.
Oh. Cool.
Mhm.
It won't
That
do
is-
it won't do
wow.
much good against the undead, but anything else in the future that is helpful.
Yeah, if only my true death crystal fucking crit on undead.
It does.
That'd be oh, it does? Oh, even better.
The only thing it doesn't do is let you use all of your sneak attack.
Just wait. Just wait till I can do extra shit.
Anyway, with that done, armor and weapons worked, potions crafted, mothers given hugs, and cats in the cradle given tears, and Shezzy embarrassed. We end this session here.